Oh! Wow. How's life? Oh, have you guys seen Top Gun Maverick? What a great movie. There's been a lot of debate in chat. If you have a full pizza, how much fraction of that pizza are you eating cold and enjoying? People who eat like cold pizza or like pizza from the fridge are fucking weirdos. That shit should have never been normalized. Ever.
More implicated in the...
Was that really fucking loud?
The Epstein files than we previously thought. This is according to a Wall Street Journal article. The Justice Department told Trump in May that his name is among many in the Epstein files. A lot of people are going to tell you, oh, that's old news. We knew he was in the flight logs. We knew he was in these phone records. But that's not what we're talking about. Those were already public. Jeffrey's black book, that was already out there. This is a new review of documents that we're talking about. We're going to go through all of it. And we're going to start with Trump actually being asked directly if he was told by his attorney general whether he was mentioned in the Epstein files. And he says, no.
Did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the
No,
file?
she's given us just a very quick briefing.
So there we have Trump denying being told that his name was in the Epstein files. But a lot of people were wondering, well, then why are you acting so weird with these files?
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
It's pretty boring stuff that were made up by Obama.
Luckily, we unearthed an interview where Trump actually hints to the fact that he was in fact told that he was in the Epstein files and that it was all fake stuff.
They've been running these files. And so much of the things that we found were fake with me.
Now that file review is going to be separate from what we talked about with the flight logs, the black book, things like that. According to the Wall Street Journal, when the Justice Department officials reviewed what Attorney General Pam Bondi called a truckload of documents related to Epstein earlier this year, they discovered that Donald Trump's name appeared multiple times, according to senior administration officials. So, if you remember phase one, right? Phase one was a big scandal because Pam Bondi...
Asmongold has a react to this video? There's no way that there's no way they already got Asmongold to switch sides, right? This game is for gamers only. Oh boy. This changes everything, ... Everyone should know about this, ... Oh shit, is this where August gets his titles from?
Our president is far more implicated in the Epstein files than we previously thought. This is according to a Wall Street Journal article. The Justice Department told Trump in May that his name is among many in the Epstein files. A lot of people are going to tell you, oh, that's old news. We knew he was in the flight logs. We knew he was in these phone records. But that's not what we're talking about. Those were already public. Jeffrey's black book, that was already out there. This is a new review of documents that we're talking about. We're going to go through all of it. And we're going to start with Trump actually being asked directly if he was told by his attorney general whether he was mentioned in the Epstein files. And he says, no.
Did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the file?
No, she's given us just a very quick briefing.
So there we have Trump denying being told that his name was in the Epstein files. But a lot of people were wondering, well, then why are you acting so weird with these files?
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
It's pretty boring stuff that were made up.
He is acting weird, bro. Like, if he's not guilty, he's sure doing a good job acting like he's guilty. He's doing a great job acting like he's guilty.
By Obama.
Luckily, we unearthed an interview where Trump actually hints to the fact that he was in fact told that he was in the Epstein files and that it was all fake stuff.
They've been running these files. And so much of the things that we found were fake with me.
Now that file review is going to be separate from what we talked about with the flight logs, the black book, things like that. According to the Wall Street Journal, when the Justice Department officials reviewed what Attorney General Pam Bondi called a truckload of documents...
Coffee's extremely biased against Trump. Take whatever he says with a grain of salt. I mean, I don't know whether he is or not. I mean, I just think talking, like, in my opinion, it's not about Trump. Like, it's a lot bigger than Trump. Trump is just like, it's just one person. Like, this is, it's an ongoing, it is an indicator of a commutation of justice and like a lack of justice. That's really the problem. That's really the issue. Trump is like one part of that. It's not the main thing.
There's another thing. Keep an eye on this. There's this thing that happens where if you talk about something bad for Biden or Kamala, there is it called active voice versus passive voice? Would it be like Biden is doing something bad, Kamala is doing something bad, but then when something bad is happening with Trump, it'll be like, this is bad, or this is a bad thing. There's like a decentering of the responsible party whenever there's something involving Trump. Tom might have even done it, I think, in our debate or our conversation, Tom Bilyeu, I think, where like, if it was Biden, it would be right now Biden has made inflation really bad. But when it's Trump, it's like right now inflation is like a little high. There's like this passive thing. And Asman is doing it in a more like deliberate manner here where it's like, well, if there is something really bad happening with the Epstein stuff, Trump is just a small piece of it. How? Excuse me. This is a former president and current president of the United States of America. All of these departments are his and his alone to control. How is it anybody but him as the central figure here?
Related to Epstein earlier this year, they discovered that Donald Trump's name appeared multiple times, according to senior administration officials. So, if you remember phase one, right?
Yeah.
Phase one was a big scandal because Pam Bondi released these files, but it turned out that these files were an incomplete list of mostly already released stuff. So what did she actually release? Well, she released the flight log and she released the contact book. Then what happened? Well, Pam Bondi, super embarrassed, reached out to Kash Patel and said, hey, I need a bunch of new files. This is not enough. Give us more. She went on Fox News, started talking about, oh, I've got this truckload of documents that is separate from the flight log, from the black book, that we're going to review and release to the American public.
Looking at these documents going, these aren't all the Epstein files. You know, there were flight logs, there were names and victims' names. And we're going, where's the rest of the stuff? Yep. So based on that, I gave them the deadline, Friday at 8, a truckload of evidence arrived.
Will everything else be made public?
It's always about protecting the victim. But you know what? We believe in transparency, and America has the right to know.
So there we clearly see there were
total bullshit. Total bullshit.
two separate reviews that happened. First, there's the disclosure in phase one of kind of the stuff everyone knew. And then Pam Bondi goes, oh, we got a truckload of new documents. We're going to review those and release those. And that's the review that flagged a bunch of times that Donald Trump's name appeared in here. And that's when they changed their story. Why is this a big deal? Previously, the appearance in the flight logs and the black book were the only appearances we really had of the president. There were
a lot of people that were in the flight logs that probably weren't implicated in any bad behavior. Like, I don't even understand why this is even being discussed. Like, Jeffrey Epstein was like a massive socialite. He interacted with everybody. It's not like just because he interacted with somebody means that they went to his island to fuck kids. It's like, it's such a red herring. I don't even understand why it's being discussed. How is it that you have 10,000 hours of footage?
What do you think of the concept politics is war? I heard it years ago, and I can't stop thinking about it these days, how Republicans view politics as civil warfare, basically. Kind of, but no. Politics, because even war, to some extent, has rules, okay? Like, you can't just nuke everybody because you're unhappy with how a certain conflict is going, because people realize that there's some level of mutually assured destruction there. I don't know how true it is, but I've heard that, like, even in World War I and II, there could have been way more usage of, like, chemical weapons and gas attacks and stuff. But in general, people just didn't really engage in it that much because they were worried about the other side doing it a ton. And that there was just kind of like this unwritten rule of, like, maybe we should just kind of, like, chill a little bit on this shit. Politics in the United States is like if one side was allowed to do whatever they want and the other side wasn't. That's what, like, the asymmetry is the thing I'm going to keep harping on over and over again. Like, the asymmetry is just unhinged. That it can't be that way, which is why I'm going to make one kitty fucking joke every single day until Republicans admit that they're unhinged. Okay. Did I make one yesterday? Yeah, I did. Okay. I'll think of another one for today.
But you're not able to identify anybody in that footage.
nothing else related to Trump there. It's
Just say a
also
bunch of
notable
things, yeah.
because Senator Dick Durbin said that the FBI was explicitly instructed to flag Trump's name if it came up in the files.
Attorney General's pressure on FBI to quickly review and produce more Epstein documents as promised. These officials were told to, quote, flag any records in which President Trump was mentioned.
Right. They had a new review
Why would
where
you say
thousands
that?
of FBI agents combed through these things, flagging the president's name anywhere it appeared in this truckload of new documents.
It's like, for a fucking fact. And here's what's so weird to me about this is that, like, Epstein died in 2019. That means that Trump had over a year to, like, get rid of any of this stuff. So by the time that Biden took office in 2021, anything that was super incriminating could have been already removed. He died? I mean, I think he died. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. Whether he killed himself or somebody killed him, I'm pretty sure he's dead, right? I mean, do people think he's alive now?
And that is what we're talking about here. These are new revelations, new pieces of evidence about our president's possible involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. Of course, what are these files? That's what we all want to know, right? Unfortunately, it's being heavily covered up and heavily blocked. Obviously,
Nobody's
one
talking
answer
about
is the
this.
Wall Street Journal's prior reporting on this letter that Trump supposedly, allegedly wrote to Epstein, which talks about a secret that they both share. It's worth noting that the president said he was going to and then did sue the Wall Street Journal over this. He's seeking $10 billion about this. But
I don't know. Like, I didn't really cover that. It's hard to say. I mean, if he's automatically coming out guns blazing suing them, like, I probably assume the letter's bullshit. But, I mean...
Why? How many people has Trump sued so far that have said bad things about him? Why is it that if the FBI suggested that Twitter ban accounts that were Russian or Chinese bots, why do you assume the FBI is in the wrong? But if Donald Trump comes out with a personal civil suit against somebody, you assume that Donald Trump is right. Why would you give so much credit to one side and not the other?
Yeah, I guess we're going to have to find out.
the most interesting thing about the case is that the Wall Street Journal, its original claim was that this birthday book letter was all in the DOJ's possession earlier.
Yeah, somebody says Trump's name appeared has no meaning beyond optics. We don't know squat. It's just red meat for the rabble. I think you're totally right. I think that they're intentionally leaving it to be opaque and abstract on purpose in order to bait people into coming to the conclusion that his name appearing in the Epstein files implies guilt. I think that's very clearly what they're doing. Like, mainstream media, clever? It's not really. It's basic, like, surface level manipulation. But I think it works with most people.
But not Aspen.
It
He's smarter. He's seen through all of it.
This truckload of new evidence, unless it was destroyed. And so one of the best ways to disprove or prove the existence of this thing would just be opening up the Epstein files.
Exactly.
Which is part of the reason it's so sketchy that they're not doing it. If you're saying that this reporting is false, if you're saying that this birthday book did not exist, then why not just release the files where this birthday letter was supposedly contained? In fact, in this story, we actually have breaking news. Epstein's victim's lawyer now says that the estate of Epstein are actually in possession of this birthday book containing Trump's letter.
Nux said something similar in his vid covering the South Park episode, claiming that Trump won all of his lawsuits, including the CBS one, for manipulating interview. Nux is literally he is the fucking neo-Nazi meme of, like, the Israeli Jew who has more concern for the country of Israel than for the United States. So that's not surprising at all. I don't even think he lives in the U.S. anymore. Yeah, no shit, he supports fucking Trump.
And would be willing to turn it over to authorities. So we'll have to see where that goes.
Possession of that birthday book.
The executors of this date are in possession of that book.
So already, if true, not only is that a kill...
Oh, wait a minute. That's two separate things. He said they're in possession of the book. Does that mean the letter is in the book? This is the kind of language. See, this is the kind of shit that people get away with because nobody knows English anymore. Every single time they use these words, and these people are not stupid, but they think that you're stupid, and that's why they talk like this.
Shot to this lawsuit, it also proves that there's new mentions of our president in the Epstein files, which are now being covered up. Another big part of this cover-up story has been our government literally shutting down early.
It was a book of letters that were all written to Epstein for his birthday, right? Isn't that what the guy was talking about?
To avoid a vote.
Shut it down.
On the release of the Epstein files. This is because there were a bunch of representatives ready to vote actually in a bipartisan way on the release of the Epstein files. And a lot of Republicans...
Which, by the way, one of the guys, Ro Khanna, I think that's his name, who was like trying to tack on the Epstein release onto some bullshit crypto bill. I criticized that pretty heavily, but then afterwards he came up with his own separate legislation that was supported by also, I think, Thomas Massie as well, and to have it released as an independent line item, and I totally support that. I think that I don't like the tacking on bullshit to a bill in order to try to score political points, in order to like, oh, well, there's this massive defense bill spending, but there's also cancer kid research. So if you decline it, then you hate kids with cancer. Like, that's obviously manipulation, and it shouldn't work that way. But at the same time, I do think all of the information should be released. In my opinion, I think release everything. Release everything. And the only reason why I think that they shouldn't is if they have genuine 100% certainty that it was altered or something was inaccurate and made to be inaccurate.
Splintered off from the party line of not releasing it, backing the president. Speaker Mike.
I mean, again, like Biden withheld it for 4 years. Trump withheld it for 1 year whenever he was the president the first time. Like, this isn't like this is
not Trump's issue. This is bipartisan. Both sides are the same.
It's a partisan issue because Trump made it a partisan issue by running on it and talking about it a lot, and then putting people in his cabinet that were adamant about releasing it, like Kash Patel, and also even J.D. Vance said to release it, his vice president, on Theo Von's podcast. So, like, it's not a partisan issue, but Trump has made it a partisan issue.
Wow.
Johnson, because he was fearing this, announced he was cutting short the week's legislative business and sending the House home early for the summer to avoid having to hold votes on releasing the files. I can't think of something more sick than stonewalling the release of files related to a trafficker to try to protect the people implicated in it. I can't think of something more disgusting, except for the hypocrisy that it also represents, because previously, the same guy went on Benny Johnson's show, a conservative commentator, and said he was totally open to releasing the files and would vote on it.
Subpoenaing the Epstein documents from the DOJ, whether you would support.
We saw this.
I'm for transparency. We're intellectually consistent in this. Look, Reagan used to tell us we should trust the American people. I believe in that principle. I know President Trump does as well.
I don't.
We should put everything out there and let the people decide it.
Right. We should trust the American people until it's time to release it and actually vote on it, and then you shut everything down early to avoid it. Now, later, Mike Johnson came out and said he doesn't want to be lectured on transparency by the Democrats who didn't release the files when they were in power, and you see a similar line coming from the White House about this.
Democrats have now seized on this as if they ever wanted transparency when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein, which is an suggestion for any Democrat to make.
Now, to this, I just have to say, yeah, they're scoring political points.
Do you think he's using AI to censor the videos? Did she say asinine and it automatically censored ass? What do you think she said?
Suggestion have now seized on this as if they ever wanted transparency when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein, which is an suggestion for any Democrat to make.
Now, to this, I just have to say, yeah, they're scoring political points now, saying release the files, just like you guys scored political points when you were the party that wasn't in power.
We need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
But the people who actually care about this issue, we just want the files out. So you know what?
This is what's so weird about it is that, like, I don't care about whether it's Democrats or Republicans that are implicated at all. I just want the files released, and I want the people that are in the files to be investigated. And I agree with whoever the fuck that guy, I think it was Tim Burchett, one of the congressmen here. He said we should hang him. I like that. That sounds like a really good idea.
An easy way you can prevent having the other side score political points by saying, hey, release the files. You can actually do it. Instead, we have a bunch of performative stuff like this from AG Pam Bondi and the president, where right after the reporting on the birthday letter about Trump and Epstein's supposed secret, all of a sudden, like a snap, Pam Bondi comes out and goes, oh, we got to...
Here's why, by the way, here's one of the reasons why I think it's kind of bullshit about the birthday letter, is that it wasn't a fucking secret. It wasn't a secret at all. It was fucking obvious that Jeffrey Epstein was getting it on with young girls. Trump just said it. So how the fuck is this a secret that they're whispering about whenever he's saying it in interviews?
We got to unseal the grand jury transcripts, despite knowing that there's almost zero chance of that happening. And of course, today we find out that it was denied because they had literally no grounds to do it. It's like not something courts do for a public interest. In fact, the irony of that whole stunt to pretend to be transparent was that the Epstein survivors, which supposedly these people care about so much, were not told, they were not informed that this grand jury information was going to be unsealed. So ironically, despite saying that they want to protect the survivors of Epstein, what they really want to protect are the third parties implicated in all of this, which is why they won't release.
They want to protect their own interests.
The Epstein files they could release right now, 100%. Which is all in their possession, these thousands of documents that they have. In fact, the attempts to distract from the real issue of the Epstein files not being released, the cover-up that's clearly happening, it's actually been breathtaking. In fact, it compelled Trump to release 230,000 pages of documents on MLK's assassination, which I guess is fine.
That's good, but like, what about the whole fucking, like, an island, right? I mean, like, that's good. And hey, by the way, again, I said complaining about this and malding works, right? We've been malding, it's been working. Keep malding.
Can you
the files could be fabricated? Well, yeah, you're going to have to cross-reference them and verify their authenticity.
Nothing has been released. What can you cross-reference them with?
Yeah, of course.
Is the conspiracy now? Why are all the conspiracies revealed decades later when we can't hold anyone accountable? But at the time the conspiracies may be happening...
You just answered your question.
All of a sudden it's, oh, well, no, we can't possibly do that. Now, there's another performative thing you should be aware of, and that's the meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell that's supposedly going to happen.
This happened today. We're going to talk about that after this.
Now says they're going to actually talk to Ghislaine directly. Quote, I have communicated with the counsel for Ms. Maxwell to determine whether she would be willing to speak with prosecutors from the department. This is confirmed by Maxwell's attorney, who says, I can confirm we are in discussions with the government and that Ghislaine will always testify truthfully. We are grateful to President Trump for his commitment to uncovering the truth in his case. Why is this deeply concerning? Because the idea had been floated that there would be a public testimony to Congress under oath by Maxwell. But this is not that. This is a private meeting with the same people who have been sweeping this issue under the rug the entire time. And what is Ghislaine really focusing on? What is she actually trying to get? She's trying to get immunity. We already know she's trying to get the president's attention and say, hey, you guys kind of screwed me. You wouldn't want to be seen as, not being a man of your word. We've seen those like vaguely threatening public statements by Maxwell. So what exactly are they going to get out of this? She's totally incentivized to clear everyone from this administration rather than get the truth out. Now
He brings up a great point. And logically, there's no way that I can say that isn't true, especially if it's only being done by one party. I think he's right about this. That's true.
Wow. Crazy.
Say we actually have inside information on this because recently a bunch of world leaders have been meeting with not journalists but get this podcasters to talk about the world affairs of the day.
Yeah.
Podcaster Tim Dillon talks about his dinner with what turns out to later be J.D. Vance and some other people where they discussed the affairs of Epstein and stuff like that. And he floats the idea of Maxwell testifying.
Ghislaine must speak. She should testify before Congress.
Yeah.
A couple of the people at the dinner, again, it was a small dinner, 3 or 4 people.
As I said, my dream scenario. Trump makes mandatory attendance every member of the Senate and Congress.
Dear President Trump.
He has her testify in front of all of them. And before she starts, he locks the doors. And as she reads out the names, the police come in and they escort every person out of the room as she reads their names. Totally like Saddam Hussein style. Yep, the Saddam strat. That's right. That would be fucking insane. And hey, that would be crazy content, right? Insane content.
They said that is not on the table at the moment, but it's not impossible. Nobody's super jazzed about it.
So the administration appears to have told Tim Dillon in a private meeting that, yeah, we really don't love the idea of her testifying.
Why are you back stalking my chat? Destiny, why did you completely make up the claim that I faked credentials? Relatedly, this History Speaks guy, you said you had a PhD or history PhD before we spoke, but you're fucking retarded. So I figured you either lied about your shit or you just, I don't know, you're fucking retarded. I don't know why you're stalking me. Go debate Loaderbox some more, buddy.
But apparently they love the idea of meeting her privately to talk to her behind closed doors where we can't know what is said. Speaking to the only person who's ever been punished at all for Epstein's crimes and whose only incentive is to her.
I think that it's true that you shouldn't take her testimony as a fact. Like, you shouldn't listen to what she's saying, 100% and be like, okay, this is absolutely true and she's totally telling the truth. I think there's a good chance that she's lying about a lot of what she's going to say. Really, it's not about necessarily what she's saying. It's about where she tells you to look, if that makes sense.
God, he's so fucking smart.
And get off the hook for all of this. So I obviously think this is a terrible idea. I think it's more of the same cover-up. Until they release these files, they're finished. And interestingly, Tim Dillon, the guy at this dinner with the administration, actually said as much.
I think if they do not release everything they have, they are done. If they do not release, and I told them that, you need to release.
More than that, human sacrifices.
Jesus Christ, bro.
If someone doesn't, if there are not at least a number of people that get implicated in this, the public bloodthirst will not be sated. There is a public bloodthirst for this. People want blood. And if he doesn't give it, they're going to be upset.
Show is literally...
Are you okay, little bro? My God.
Am I wrong?
Everything you have.
Yeah, of course. Doesn't take a political analyst to tell you need to release the file. But of course, that seems to be the one thing they refuse to do. They'll do anything. They'll release MLK files. They'll probably tell you that aliens exist just to avoid releasing the Epstein files. And that is the actually most incriminating part of all of this. It has been the reaction, not the files themselves, that has made this look so bad. The unhinged response to just simple demands for following up on their word, saying they were going to release the Epstein files. Then it's, we looked.
We found the public sacrifices on both sides, too. I think we need as many as possible.
President's name a bunch, and now we're not going to show you what's in there. That makes us all assume the worst about what's actually in here. So ultimately, look, I just believe we should get transparency. Obviously, there's a lot we don't know here, but a lot that has also been coming out, and it all paints a much darker picture than we previously knew.
When you click pay info, I think that it's obvious that Trump is implicated in some way. I would be willing to believe that Trump had an idea that it was going on. I would not be immediately willing to believe that Trump was doing it himself. I would require more proof than that. But I do think that in the same way that everybody in Hollywood knew about Harvey Weinstein, everybody in music knew about Diddy, I bet everybody in this echelon knew about Jeffrey Epstein. I bet they all kind of knew that it was happening, but it was kind of like a hush-hush, let's not talk about this type situation. So, I would need more proof than that. And I don't think that them saying his name being in the files is problematic. But Coffee bringing up the fact that the FBI was directed to say if his name was in the files or not to him implies that, why would you do that if you weren't guilty? Trump knows that the public doesn't give a damn about the truth. There's the video. I've been watching CoffeeZilla's videos about this topic a lot. I mean, I'm really glad to see that, you know, he's using his, you know, investigative reporting skills on something. I mean, like, as much as cryptos, as much as...
Just to be clear, all CoffeeZilla is doing is reading the same mainstream media that Asmongold is too stupid, lazy, and incompetent to read himself, and then accuses of all being biased. Every single thing that CoffeeZilla has said has just come from him, and I'm not taking anything away from CoffeeZilla, he's a smart guy, but he's just reading the mainstream reporting on this. That's where all of the information is coming from. So I like how Asmongold thinks he's got some, like, super huge line into the Trump admin, and CoffeeZilla's, like, fucking on the grounds of the Capitol, you know, digging around through his actual White House-connected sources, trying to scrounge up secret information. It's all just reading, like, the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times reporting on this. He's so fucking stupid. Holy shit.
Crypto scams matter, right? I mean, I think this is a much bigger fucking scam.
Can we just get, like, some fucking podcast, bro, to, like, memorize the 5 leading, like, WAPO, New York Times, and Wall Street Journal stories for the day, and then come on and, like, present them in, like, a bro way, so that fucking retards like Asmongold can look at it and go, oh, yeah, like, I can tell this guy actually knows what's going on. He's got a beat on things. Like, this is a smart dude. Like, I don't trust the lamestream media, but this guy really knows what's up. Like, holy shit.
And it's a much bigger issue, right? And so, yeah, there we go. You watch his last one. I might look at it tomorrow, right? I mean, we're going with these one at a time, but this is the one that I've seen so far. And this is, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, make sure to give the video a like and give him a sub. I like this guy a lot. And I've been watching him for quite a while. This isn't even an investigation. It's just tabloid journalism. It's tabloid journalism. Yeah.
Oh, so someone in chat even called it out. I wouldn't call it tabloid, but...
Oh, well, tabloid journalism is better than cover-ups, isn't it? So if you don't want to have tabloid journalism, then maybe you should release the files and set the record straight. Problem solved. I'll be right back. It would be crazy, though, if they announced that there were aliens to distract people from this. The funny thing is, I think it would work. Anyway, so this is what happened today. They did interview her.
The intelligence community assessed.
So why wouldn't they try to get Trump elected? Simple. It's because if they interfered in the election, it would be too high risk of an action, and it would cause too much blowback if it was discovered.
I just want to die. What does he think? What does he think? This isn't even like a debated topic. Like, people don't even seriously debate this. Did Russia interfere in our election? That's not a real topic that people debate. Like, there are literally indictments out for people that are directly implicated with this shit. Like,
they also might not have had the technology or the ability to do it with...
What, they didn't have computers? They didn't have the internet in Russia in 2016?
The 100% certainty to get away with it, and it's unpredictable.
Bro, I actually can't.
That's the reason why. Yeah, like, I mean, again, and so that's the same reason why Putin released it so naive. No, you're actually the one that's naive because you're not thinking about this. You're thinking about this one step ahead. There's a reason why Putin has been in charge of Russia for like 30 years. It's because he's extremely intelligent. He's brutal, cunning, and I just think it's crazy how many people that he doesn't like that end up dying. Isn't that weird? How does that happen? Yeah, he's an ex-KGB agent. Like, he's not stupid at all. And so anyway, like, basically, the reason why he didn't release the negative stuff about Hillary Clinton is because he was worried that there's a chance or a probability that it could also galvanize the public against Russia because they could see Russia as now attacking Hillary Clinton, and then it could have the opposite effect. Whereas if he released it when she was president, it would have a guaranteed effect of negatively impacting her. And also he could use that for leverage later on down the road against her directly. Whereas whenever she's not the president, you can't use that for leverage. Bullshit? No, it's not bullshit.
For one day. I just need to cover some shit. I just need to cover I just need to watch some shit that's just totally, I'm just fucking retarded on, and then I just need to give the most the most confident takes. Like, how can you be this confidently fucking, like, on, I don't even have words for this.
It's not bullshit. It's common sense. Like, just think about it. Think about it. Never play a card unless you have to. Yeah, it's an ace up the sleeve. Yeah, you never go and do that. Yeah, it's blackmail 101. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm surprised that so many people A lot of people don't understand anything beyond basic cause and effect, and even that's hard for people to understand. But there are oftentimes decisions that people make where they lose a battle to win a war. And I think that's very clearly what his perspective is. Yeah, it's wasteful playing it early. You need to ban these idiots. They're doing this shit on purpose to distract. I just think that people don't understand the way that you make decisions this way, right?
Yeah, tell
Why are you
us.
surprised? Do you understand actual subversion? I think I do. I think that I have a better understanding of it than most people, at least.
Yeah.
I don't think I understand it as well as Putin does. But based off of what his decisions were, it seems like they made sense based off of my understanding of subversion. It does. I spent a lot of time on the internet, playing games, dealing with people in business with stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm not a wizard. Like, there's people that know a lot more about it than I do. But I bet if you ask them, they'd say the same thing I am.
Like, does he think that all of this is fake? That all of these indictments, this is a hamstring investigation even, and we still found so much shit. For example, on or about March 19, 2016, Lukashev and his co-conspirators created and sent a spear phishing email to the chairman of the Clinton campaign. Lukashev used the account John356GH and an online service that abbreviated lengthy website addresses, referred to as URL shortening service. Lukashev used the account to mask a link contained in the spear phishing email, which directed the recipient to a GRU-created website. Lukashev altered the appearance of the sender email address in order to make it look like an email from a security notification from Google, a technique known as spoofing, instructing the user how to change his password by clicking the embedded link. Those instructions were followed. On or about March 21st, 2016, Lukashev, Yermakov, and their co-conspirators stole the contents of the chairman's email account, which consisted of over 50,000 emails. Hacking into the DCC network. Does he think it's all fake? Or he doesn't believe... The reality is he doesn't even know this exists. He probably doesn't even know this entire investigation existed. Like it's just like it's all out here. It's all available for consumption. Defendant Internet Research Agency, LLC, is a Russian organization engaged in political and electoral interference operations. In or around July of 2013, the organization registered with the Russian government as a Russian corporate entity. Beginning in or around June 2014, the organization obscured its conduct by operating through a number of Russian entities, including Internet Research LLC, Media Syntez LLC, Glavset LLC, Mixinfo LLC, Asma, blah, blah, blah. Starting in or around 2014, the organization occupied an office at 55 Savushkina Street in St. Petersburg, Russia. That location became one of the organization's operational hubs from which defendants and other co-conspirators carried out their activities to interfere in the U.S. political system, including the 2016 U.S. presidential election. The organization employed hundreds of individuals for its online operations, ranging from creators of fictitious personas to technical and administrative support. The organization's annual budget totaled the equivalent of millions of U.S. dollars. The organization was headed by a management group and organized into departments, including a graphics department, a data analysis department, a search engine optimization department, an information technology department to maintain the digital infrastructure used in organization's operations, and a finance department to budget and allocate funding. The organization sought in part to conduct what it called information warfare against the United States of America through fictitious U.S. personas on social media platforms and other internet-based media. It's all out here. Like, it's just so... In or around the later half of 2016, defendants and their co-conspirators through their organization-controlled personas began to encourage U.S. minority groups not to vote in the 2016 U.S. presidential election or to vote for a third-party U.S. presidential candidate. On or about October 16, 2016, defendants and their co-conspirators used the organization-controlled Instagram account, Woke Blacks, to post the following message. A particular hype and hatred for Trump is misleading the people and forcing blacks to vote Hillary. We cannot resort to the lesser of two evils. Then we'd surely be better off without voting at all. On or around November 3rd, 2016, defendants and their co-conspirators purchased an advertisement to promote a post on the organization-controlled Instagram account, Blacktivist, that read, in part, choose peace and vote for Jill Stein. Trust me, it's not a wasted vote. By in or around November 2016, defendants and their co-conspirators used the organization-controlled United Muslims of America, a social media account, to post anti-vote messages such as, American Muslims are boycotting elections today. Most of the American Muslim voters refuse to vote for Hillary Clinton because she wants to continue the war on Muslims in the Middle East and voted yes for invading Iraq. On or around or about August 4th, 2016, defendants and their co-conspirators began purchasing advertisements that promoted a post on the organization-controlled Facebook account Stop AI. The post alleged that Hillary Clinton has already committed voter fraud during the Democrat Iowa caucus. That one account that we used to fight with or look at a long time ago, around 2016, at 10_GOP, that was a Russian-ran account. This had like 250,000 followers on Twitter, by the way, like 10 years ago. Defendants and their co-conspirators posted that allegations of voter fraud were being investigated in North Carolina on the organization-controlled Twitter account at 10_GOP. On or about November 2nd, 2016, defendants and their co-conspirators used the same account to post allegations of hashtag voter fraud by counting tens of thousands of ineligible mail-in Hillary votes being reported in Broward County, Florida. The political advertisements included the following. So to pay for political advertisements, defendants and their co-conspirators established various Russian bank accounts and credit cards, often registered in the names of fictitious U.S. personas created and used by the organization on social media. Defendants and their co-conspirators also paid for other political advertisements using PayPal accounts. You know, a great number of black people support us saying that hashtag Hillary Clinton is not my president. I say no to Hillary Clinton / I say no to manipulation. Join our hashtag Hillary Clinton for prison 2016. Donald wants to defeat terrorism, ... Hillary wants to sponsor it. Vote Republican, vote Trump, and support the Second Amendment. Hillary Clinton doesn't deserve the black vote. Trump is our only hope for a better future. Hashtag never Hillary. Hashtag Hillary for prison. Hashtag Hillary for prison. Hashtag Hillary for prison 2016. Hashtag Trump 2016. Hashtag Trump. Hashtag Trump for president. Ohio wants Hillary for prison. Staging U.S. political rallies in the United States. In or around August of 2016, defendants and their co-conspirators used false U.S. personas to communicate with Trump campaign staff involved in local community outreach about the Florida Goes Trump rallies. Defendants and their co-conspirators purchased advertisements on Facebook and Instagram to promote the Florida Goes Trump rallies. Defendants and their co-conspirators also used fake U.S. personas to contact multiple grassroots groups supporting then-candidate Trump in an unofficial capacity. Many of these groups agreed to participate in the Florida Goes Trump rallies and serve as local coordinators. After the election of Donald Trump in or around November of 2016, defendants and their co-conspirators used false U.S. personas to organize and coordinate U.S. political rallies in support of then-President-elect Trump, while simultaneously using other false U.S. personas to organize and coordinate U.S. political rallies protesting the results of the 2016 U.S. presidential election. For example, in or around November 2016, defendants and their co-conspirators organized a rally in New York through one organization-controlled group designed to, quote, show your support for President-elect Donald Trump, end quote, held on or about November 12, 2016. At the same time, defendants and their co-conspirators, through another organization-controlled group, organized a rally in New York called, quote, Trump is not my president, end quote, held on or about November 12, 2016. Similarly, defendants and their co-conspirators organized a rally entitled, quote, Charlotte against Trump, end quote, in Charlotte, North Carolina, held on or about November 19, 2016. This was just on the group that Mueller found. I would permaban this guy if he was on my platform. It's actually, he's so fucking retarded. Like, can't you, you should have to sit down. This would be you want the streamer holocaust? You know what it would be? Here's how this is the streamer holocaust. You give him a book and you give him some paper and then you give him a loaded gun and you say, here's your choice. 1 hour of reading every day or kill yourself. And 95% of streamers and YouTubers that cover the news would be dead in 2 days. It's unbelievable. Like, this stuff is out here everywhere. It's so easy to read. It's like, it's such a joke. And then instead we get Asmongold, okay, the fucking Roach King, to tell us through common sense about how it would be impossible to ever have any kind of interference in any kind of election. Because I guess Russia didn't have computers in 2013. What do you say, they didn't have the technology for it? To send a fucking email?
But based off of what his decisions were, it seems like they made sense based off of my understanding of subversion. It does. I spent a lot of time on the internet, you know, playing games, dealing with people in business with stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm not a wizard. Like, there's people that know a lot more about it than I do. But I bet if you ask them, they'd say the same thing I am. Go ask them.
Omitted reliably sourced information, such as how some Russian intelligence officials were quote-unquote planning for candidate Hillary Clinton's victory, while others assessed neither Trump nor Clinton would respect Russia's interests. As was reflected in the ODNI documents that we released on Friday, multiple intelligence community assessments released in the months leading up to the November 2016 election concluded that Russia had neither the intent nor capability to impact the outcome of the U.S. election.
Yep.
On December 5th of 2016, the FBI and ODNI gave the House Intelligence Committee its first post-election classified briefing, in which there was no mention of Putin aspiring to elect Trump by either agency.
And that's the thing, too, is that even if they thought Putin was trying to get Trump elected, they didn't have a reason to... They didn't have a defined reason. It was just like a guess.
What are you talking about? Ah! What? Fucking Putin watched Gaddafi get raped to death with a fucking bayonet. You don't think this guy didn't fucking hate Hillary Clinton and Obama? He's so fucking stupid. Okay. All right. I'm done. Okay. That's enough Asmongold for today. I can't. I actually can't do it. Okay. What else do we have going on? Let's just, okay, South Park did an episode. Okay. If you leave me Asmongold shit, I'm permabanning you. I'm done.
So the season 27 premiere of South Park just aired, and holy shit. I think it's safe to say that South Park is back. And when I say that, I don't just mean that the show is literally back. I mean the soul, the edge, the controversy.
Can we chat? Oh. Hi, what's up, buddy?
Just come on stream real quick. We have a new volume out, volume number 21. I'd love it if everybody came and read the new pragmatic papers. Uh-oh, it's not letting me put the link in chat. 1 second. Your chat does this to me sometimes where I can't. There we go. And also, just want to announce, people have been asking me a lot in chat how to contribute if they wanted to write an article. We actually now have an email available. If you guys ever want to send in what you think would be a good article, feel free to shoot it to us. We'll take a look, and we'll reach out if we think it's worth publishing. So we try to focus more on, things a little more political, but if you have something in your skill set, even if it's not political, we'd still be interested to take a look at it and maybe workshop something with you to get it in the papers. Also, everybody, again, thank you for the support on the website. We've been having a lot of traffic there. We don't have any ads or anything there, and we'd really appreciate it if when people come by, if you turn off your ad blockers when you come to our website, it really helps us know what the traffic is like when it comes in. It kind of can help us gauge kind of just some of the metrics for us. So just if you did it for us, we'd appreciate it. If not, I get it. It's probably, I don't know how ad block stuff works. I don't use it, so I don't know how much of a hassle that is. Also, there's the articles this week are really good. We've got a couple on Ukraine. There's a really good one on the background of Hamas, and it gives a really good look into kind of who they are, and it kind of I think that it's a good thing to read for people that try to tell you that October 7th is just a kind of natural response of the hindbrain of Palestinians. This is more hey, this is how October 7th was pretty calculated and was a real political move on their side, not only against Israel, but against the PA and kind of their internal politics of the Gaza Strip. So that one was one I really liked. And then Reason Riffs is doing a really cool article about his bike ride from, I believe he's in Germany or the Netherlands. I'm sorry if I got that wrong, but he's going to ride his bike all the way to the Ukraine through Transnistria and Moldova, things like that. So he talked about his last ride in there, and he's got a fundraiser for it. I donated to it. I really recommend everybody go donate and support him because he's a really cool member of our community, and he always comes back with some awesome pictures when he goes on these rides. Thank you for the shilling. Destiny, real quick, while I'm on here,
yeah, what's up?
I can tell you're in a really good mood, so I thought it'd be a good time to ask you some questions. I feel like the Epstein list stuff has been going like we just keep getting new stuff every day. At this point, I believe your position is that you don't think there is like a list, but there are files that are just not being released. Is that right?
That are probably inconsequential to any huge investigation. Sure. Like I don't think there's like some. I don't think the blackmail pedo ring thing exists. I don't think that. No.
Okay. I mean, I was talking about it with some people the other day, and I think that like if I was in a court of law, I'd probably say the same thing. But like as far as like in the context of like in a conversation with conservatives, I feel like I for me, I don't ever want to make that argument to them. I would always just say, well, Pam Bondi said it does exist and it's on her desk.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Yeah, you should roast the fuck out of them for it. Yeah.
Okay, because like that was someone was arguing with me about it, where they're like, we need that's a like they were trying to say it's an unforced error on my side, but I was like, no, I think they should push back. Okay, then I won't language there.
Yeah, I mean these guys hyped it up for fucking 5 years and saying they had secret contacts and all sorts of bullshit, and now they're coming up empty-handed. Yeah, for sure. What the fuck? The binder thing is fucking cringe as fuck.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw there was a video recently from one of these fucking losers that did it, where they had the binder prominently displayed while they were talking about it, and on it says phase 1, which like
they invited a whole bunch of influencers to the Capitol or the White House or something. Yeah.
As far as the as far as them not releasing stuff, like whether it was the Biden administration, Trump one, or this administration, like do you understand why they wouldn't if they like.
Yeah, of course. You should never release stuff from like an investigation where no like indictments come out. It's the same thing as like having unverified or unvetted intelligence. It's just it would be incredibly sloppy, reckless. It would defeat the entire purpose of having a criminal justice system if you could start an investigation on somebody, not get anything that to even reach like a grand jury, and then to just like dump all of that into the open market. People could do insane and unhinged shit with it, right?
Like literally just saw Asmongold calling for blood for this stuff, and it's like, yeah, I wonder why they're not just throwing names out there.
And you generally just wouldn't anyway, right? Especially for investigations, you could be working with subpoena power and shit, right? Like, what if it was the case that I sent an email to some guy 2 years ago that like murdered somebody, like 2 weeks ago, and the FBI does subpoenas and they try to research this guy or whatever, and like, oh, we didn't come up with anything. And people are like, release all the files, and like, okay, and they release it. It's like, oh my god, did I email this guy 2 years ago? And it's like, okay, well, fuck me. I guess now I'm like part of the public conversation. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, and there's probably like a million things for every investigation that are related to things like that. Yeah, of course, you can't just dump all of that publicly.
Right, and then even like looking forward, whenever it's like, okay, well, actually, all the shit we released, there's nothing in there, but we found some new stuff, and we want to get a warrant to go and find some more. And they go to a judge, and that judge goes, "So you guys released a bunch of shit, and now you're going after him again? So you're just harassing the fuck out of this guy?" No, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna actually like you can really hamstring yourself like going forward looking for this stuff.
Sure, but also like but they've been saying they're gonna release it all, so them not releasing it is highly sus. So they should get fucked for it. Yeah.
The hypocrisy on that should 100% be called out. Okay, well, I think that there was the Epstein discussion came up, and then we saw this big thing with Obama come out, and that's been taking up a lot of the airwaves. Have you? I don't know if you covered. Did you cover the J-Powell stuff, the Jerome Powell stuff that was being talked about and it was brought forward?
Which stuff?
Where he's being accused of perjury.
Yes.
Okay, I thought that was just going to be like. I thought that was like just part of the chaff to cover the Epstein thing, but I was reading about it a little more and like looking at the actual charges for him and just like how insane they were, because they're like, so they're saying that he misspoke about like whether or not they were going to install certain
it's just
things
all like game playing on shit. It's like it's actually like a Reddit tier debate. Yeah
and then but then Trump shows up to the work site and like just like looms over J-Powell in front of a bunch of reporters to try to be like, actually, yeah, he's lying to me. And then J-Powell checked him like right then and there. But it's a little scary because there's the charges weren't brought by the DOJ, right? They were recommended by someone in Congress.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of seeing this kind of interplay now, and we've been seeing it with Johnson, who's the head of the House, and he's running a bunch of interference. But this woman that is submitting to the DOJ these recommendations, it's this kind of like won't somebody rid me of this troublesome priest kind of thing, where it's just like Trump just kind of speaks things out loud and then hopes people will grab onto them. And then he
sure. Although to be fair to him, I mean, like it's not like people are out like killing politicians right now or anything, right?
Yeah, no, there haven't been any political assassinations since he became president.
Yeah, not that I've heard of anywhere at all. So yeah.
He's the only one who's the victim.
Correct. When he got shot in the head, remember?
He
took a bullet By
a far leftist.
By a far leftist, true, who donated $5 to. Okay,
yeah,
get to the point. You're triggering the fuck out of me. I don't even want to do. I want to kind of play video games. I actually hate the current political environment. It's actually insane. We just kind of moved on past that. You know, there was a crazy MAGA dude that assassinated 2 political people, and we just like moved on from it. We don't give a fuck about anything in this country. It's actually insane. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
So you actually did. You pointed out the point of my reason coming on stream and triggering you so much is, since you've been on Vyvanse, have you tried to get to Diamond?
Like, oh God, why would you do that? Then it truly would be over.
I'm just saying. I feel like
I would have
maybe
so much
that's
chill in the
key.
bot lane. I wouldn't want to dive anymore. I could just farm all day. I'm just like vibing. Oh shit, maybe.
Like, because here's the deal. I know I just burned any goodwill I had with your chat. I was the darling, and now they all hate me. But I'm just saying, I see you come on here, Doomer and Black Pilled, and you know, for me, whenever I feel like that, a lot of times I do take a break, give myself some time. I haven't been to the Rift in years, but that used to be one of the ways I did it. Maybe a Rift reset is what you need. Is all I'm saying.
I'll think about it.
You know, looking out for you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, everybody, please forget what I just said to him so that you can like me again. And guys, go read the new edition, and also submit content if you guys think we would like it. We would really love to see some stuff from the community.
Oh, by the way, whoever does the programming for your website, you should have like just a little thing that appears. It doesn't have to be super obstructive, but you can have a thing appear up top that says shut off your ad blocker for geotagging or some bullshit. Because I see media websites will do it where they block the whole page unless you turn off your ad block. But you could have an unobtrusive way of doing it if people.
I'll bring it up. No, I appreciate that. Yeah. Also, are you just to put a little public pressure on you? Are we going to see an article from you anytime soon?
Yeah, I'm working on one.
Woo. Good. I'm excited for it.
Okay.
Hope to see you soon. Hey,
I
you have
love
a
you.
good one, right?
Yep.
You too.
Bye.
Park is back in a way that they haven't been back in probably at least a decade. And if they hadn't made it very clear in the past, I think Matt and Trey just wanted to remind us, they truly do not give a single fuck. What they did in this episode is probably the most insane middle finger I have ever seen. And I'm not even talking about what they did to Trump. Sure, they tore Trump to shreds, but not just for the sake of it. No, making fun of Trump was a calculated play on their part to achieve their real goal, screwing Paramount as hard as they can. Like, I don't think you guys understand just how insane this actually is. I'm so excited to talk about it because if you don't know the full context of everything going on behind the scenes, by the end of this video you will, and you'll understand that this might be the most insane thing South Park has ever done, even crazier than the Muhammad and Scientology stuff. This is genuinely some next level 200 IQ supervillain shit on the part of Matt and Trey. So enough of the intro, let's just get straight into it. Personally, I'm just so happy that South Park is finally back. There's really nothing better than when one of your favorites is back and better than ever, which just so happens to be the case with today's sponsor, Raycon. Now, I've talked about Raycon's everyday earbuds before. I've been using them for close to a year at this point, but they've somehow managed to make them even better by including the one thing that they were missing, active noise cancellation. I've really been loving this feature because I wear these pretty much everywhere I go, and if I ever want to tune out all the noise around me, all I gotta do is turn on the noise cancellation and we're good to go. Combine that with 8 hours of playtime and a 32-hour battery life, and they pretty much are always in my ears, whether I'm working out, shopping, going for a walk, pretty much anything. They're incredibly comfortable in my ears, and I also use their awareness mode all the time if I ever need to hear anything around me. So that's why you need to go to buyraycon.com/blooms right now to get 20% off of the fan favorite Everyday Earbuds Classic. Again, that is buyraycon.com/blooms. You can click the link in the description or the pinned comment to get 20% off of your Everyday Earbuds Classic. And of course, a huge thank you to Raycon for sponsoring this video. So I'm going to start with a quick summary of the episode, and then I'll give context as to why this is so crazy, but if you want to just skip to that, feel free to do so with the chapters. The episode opens with Cartman finding out from his mother that his favorite comedy radio show, NPR, has been taken off the air by the president. Of course, this is Cartman, so calling NPR a comedy show is pretty par for the course.
They had gay rappers from Mexico all sad because girls in Pakistan got stoned to death. And guess why they got stoned to death? Because they were raped. It was hilarious. Why would anyone cancel that?
He begins to notice that the cultural tide seemed to be shifting away from woke, and he's afraid of that happening.
Woke stuff is off limits. I mean, it's like now everyone rips on the truth and it's totally fine.
His last hope is PC Principal, the man whose entire character is literally just a representation of woke politics, but he quickly learns that he too is compromised.
Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Now, I'm not sure if this is referencing a specific event, but I know that this administration has made statements about wanting to put Christianity back into the government and schools, with some states doing things like putting the 10 Commandments in the classroom. So, of course, the way they go about showing this is...
I haven't seen this episode, but is this not like a general statement on how everybody's like becoming fucking Christian, or it's like the new cool thing is to like be Christian, to not even to just like get away from accusations, but it's like, oh, maybe Christians were right about a lot of things, guys, and we need to, I don't know.
By having PC Principal bring Jesus himself into the school. So Stan tells Randy this, and he's slightly concerned, so he does what every good parent would do and talks to ChatGPT about it. Back at school, Cartman is freaking out about the fact that even PC Principal isn't woke anymore. He declares woke.
He was saying it's more about government censorship. Okay, I haven't seen the episode, so...
Does what every good parent would do and talks to ChatGPT about it. Back at school, Cartman is freaking out about the fact that even PC Principal isn't woke anymore, and he declares woke to be dead.
You can just stay now. Nobody cares. Everyone hates the Jews. Everyone's fine with using gay slurs.
Now, you may be wondering, why would Cartman, of all people, care about things being less woke? You would think he would rejoice over that? Well, not exactly, because if no one is woke, Cartman has no one to piss off. Cartman doesn't actually hold any political beliefs at all. All he cares about is using social or political movements for his own enjoyment, and of course, there is nothing he enjoys more than antagonizing people. So, if no one's woke anymore, he has nothing to live for. I also feel like this is kind of a meta joke about South Park itself, where Matt and Trey feel like being politically incorrect and offensive was kind of their whole thing, but now that it's seemingly the norm, it's just not the same. They're not special anymore. At the bar, the whole town is talking about the president, and we begin to see the effects of the death of woke firsthand.
I voted for him to get rid of all the woke stuff, but now that retarded faggot is just putting money in his own pockets.
So they all get riled up and decide to take matters into their own hands, forming an angry mob and heading straight to the president's front door. Except when they bust in, they find a scene they didn't expect.
Excuse me, do you mind?
So Garrison is no longer the president. He gave up on that at the end of the last season. And can I just say, thank God. Garrison has always been one of my favorite characters, and him having to play the role of Trump for so long was downright exhausting. I am so glad they found a way to remove him from that role entirely. But if Garrison isn't president, it begs the question.
Who's the retarded in the White House?
We get the answer to this question alongside the return of a familiar face.
A dictator from the Middle East? Relax, God. I'm just your average Joe. Take a rest.
Now, if you're not a scholar in South Park lore like myself, you may not understand who this is, but that's why I'm here. That, my friends, is Saddam Hussein, and he was an occasionally recurring character from the early seasons of the show. The last time he made a major appearance was 22 years ago back in season 7 when he got caught pretending to be the Prime Minister of Canada. He played a major role in the South Park movie as Satan's lover and a couple of subsequent episodes in the following season. But he is back in all of his glory, this time with a fresh new look. Now, technically, we don't know if this is actually a separate character, just given the exact same voice and mannerisms as Saddam, or if it's Saddam wearing a disguise. I tend to lean towards the latter because he did exactly that in his last appearance, and there's a few lines that hint at it.
Come on, you don't want me to bomb you like I did Iraq. I thought you just bombed Iraq. Alright, what the hell's the difference? Relax, guy.
But this is the point when the episode really starts to go off the rails, giving us a completely absurd and Looney Tunes-esque caricature of Trump, who goes down the halls critiquing all of his portraits for his penis being too small. Then he hops into bed with another familiar face we haven't seen.
Wait, do Matt and Trey do the voices for every character on South Park, right? It's just those two? Or...
in a while.
I can't even see anything so small.
Now, this may seem overly childish even by South Park standards, but there's a very good reason for
Nearly
that,
all,
which we'll
not
talk about later
all.
in the video.
Oh, okay.
Meanwhile, Cartman has completely
90%
given up
of them,
confiding
okay.
in Butters at the pond. Without woke, he has nothing to live for, and despite Butters' pleas, he knows what he has to do.
I'm gonna kill myself. And you.
Back at the White House, Trump is living it up when Randy gives him a call to air the town's grievances. He casually walks past some rather flattering artwork on the wall while they chat, and he ends it by threatening to sue South Park. And Satan has a couple of questions for him when he gets back in bed.
Another random bitch commented on my Instagram that you're on the Epstein list.
Are we still talking about that?
It's weird that whenever it comes up, you just tell everyone to relax. You remind me more and more of this other guy I used to date. Like, a lot.
Meanwhile, Cartman is in Butters' garage attempting to suck down the exhaust from the car, and he eventually convinces Butters to join in. 60 Minutes is very timidly reporting on South Park's protest against Trump, which gives a pretty funny gag.
The Stutch family is proud to say that we own an electric car.
What's funny about this is I actually predicted they would make this joke because they made pretty much this exact same joke back in season 12.
What happened? I thought you were gonna kill yourself. I tried. Went to sleep in my mom's car in the garage with the engine turned on. But you didn't die? Freaking hybrids, man. They just don't do the trick anymore.
So then Jesus comes in to explain to the town what's really going on, and he outright name drops Paramount, CBS, and Stephen Colbert.
You guys saw what happened to CBS? Yeah, well, guess who owns CBS? Paramount. You really want to end up the Colbert? You guys gotta stop being stupid.
And I'll explain all of this in a second. The episode ends with the town agreeing to settle with Trump, but as part of the settlement, they have to promote pro-Trump messaging, and we get our first pro-Trump PSA.
Who survived the wilderness and gave the ultimate sacrifice? Donald J. Trump.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I endorse this message.
His penis is teeny tiny, but his love for us is large.
It is just absolutely absurd with Trump being
How'd they get Trump to agree to do this commercial?
faked onto an actor, and I wish I could show what happens next, but you're just gonna have to go watch the episode. The final shot leaves us with Cartman and Butters still sitting in the car waiting for their inevitable demise, which of course will never come. Now, again, the way they made fun of Trump in this episode seems to be incredibly juvenile even for South Park, but trust me, this is all calculated, so let's get into it. So on the surface, this doesn't seem like anything particularly special. They went pretty hard on Trump, but it's not necessarily out of the ordinary for South Park. But allow me to explain what the real plan was here so that you can fully grasp the massive set of balls Matt and Trey have just put on display. So I talked in my last two videos about South Park's dealings with Paramount and how Paramount has seemingly screwed them over time and time again. I recommend you check out those videos for the full context, but this is the short version. Paramount has been dealing with a lawsuit from Warner Brothers regarding South Park streaming rights for years at this point. This has affected South Park's production greatly. Paramount is trying to merge with Skydance just as South Park is coming to the end of its contract with HBO for streaming rights. The merger is a quote shit show according to Matt and Trey, and it causes the new season to be delayed by 2 weeks. And all of this is going on while they're trying to negotiate a new deal for streaming. The incoming executives from Skydance are given control over Paramount's deals, and they change the terms of South Park's original deal they had planned with Paramount. On top of that, the executives begin meddling in their negotiations with other companies like Netflix and HBO. Matt and Trey are very upset by this, and they threatened to sue Paramount over it only 2 weeks ago from today. So Matt and Trey have been very upset with Paramount for a very long time now, and leading up to the last couple of days, we didn't even know if they would still be signing with them for exclusive streaming rights. So that's all stuff we already knew, but a couple of days ago is when shit really started to hit the fan. In those videos, I didn't mention the fact that President Trump has actually been in a lawsuit with Paramount for months now, attempting to sue them over an interview with Kamala Harris during the elections. You don't need to know the full context of that. All you need to know is that Trump is pissed off at Paramount. This wouldn't be a huge problem if it weren't for the fact that Paramount was attempting to merge with Skydance, and this merger needs approval from the FCC. The FCC is under the Trump administration, so essentially, as long as Trump is angry at Paramount and suing them, he can hold this merger above their head and prevent it from happening. Paramount realizes that if they want this merger done, they just have to give in. So they make the decision to settle with Trump for $16 million, supposedly promising another $20 million worth of screen time from Skydance when the merger actually happens.
As part of the settlement, we also had to agree to doing pro-Trump messaging.
Shortly after they agree to this, in a shocking coincidence, Paramount announces the cancellation of their decades-long Late Show with the host Stephen Colbert. They cite the fact that the Late Show was losing them tens of millions of dollars a year, but the weird part is that not only had the show just been renewed through 2026 recently, but it's also the most popular late-night show on television based on ratings. Now, if you know anything about Stephen Colbert, you know that he's not the biggest fan of Trump, and he's making fun of him pretty much every night on his show. And specifically, he called out the settlement that Paramount made with Trump as looking more like a political bribe than a legal proceeding. And consequently, Trump has been a very outspoken critic of Colbert in the past. So it definitely seems a bit coincidental that Paramount would decide to cancel the #1 late-night talk show on TV while they're actively in the process of caving to the president's intimidation tactics.
I mean, who the hell does the president think he is? The government can't cancel the show. I mean, what show are they going to cancel next?
And it looks even worse when the president immediately hops on Truth Social to celebrate Colbert's cancellation, and then also threaten the jobs of the other late-night hosts who have a tendency to badmouth him. So with this lawsuit settled and the merger with Skydance all but confirmed by the president, Paramount is finally able to make a deal with South Park for a whopping $1.5 billion. Now, I'll be the first to admit that I've never been a big fan of Stephen Colbert. I personally have never found his show to be very funny, and after his cancellation, it seemed like a lot of people share that sentiment. And as much as I love South Park and think it's absolutely worth an insane amount of money, as I said in my last video, I think investing $1.5 billion into a single show for 5 years could literally never make sense from a business perspective. So I do believe Paramount when they say that Colbert was losing them money, reportedly $40 million a year. But with the timing and the sheer amount of money they were willing to give to South Park immediately after, I find it incredibly hard to believe that money was the only motivator for this decision. Trump almost certainly had something to do with it, as they reference in this episode.
You really want to end up the culprit? You guys gotta stop being stupid.
So all of this happens earlier in the week. South Park signs their deal with Paramount on Tuesday officially, and then they release this episode. Before the ink is even dry on the contract, they immediately go after Trump 10 times harder than Colbert ever has. Now, what's weird about this is the fact that Matt and Trey have been done with Trump for a while now. They claimed that the election was one of the major reasons season 27 didn't air at the end of 2024, because they just didn't want to talk about it anymore. And even after it was announced that the season would be airing in 2025, they went out of their way to make it very clear they weren't going to be targeting Trump because they had nothing left to say about him. So were they just lying? Why would they immediately make the first episode about Trump? Well, as I said, Matt and Trey really do not like Paramount. And after seeing how all of this stuff played out with Paramount and the president, they began scheming. You see, I think they had the season premiere finished a long time ago, since it was supposed to come out at the beginning of July. But once they got delayed and saw how all of this was playing out, they went back to the drawing board and made an entirely new episode in the span of less than a week, which to be fair isn't abnormal for them. Most of their episodes are made in 6 days. But they had not forgotten about what Paramount did to them, and they wanted their revenge. They knew exactly what they needed to do. They would go after Trump hard, make him a complete caricature.
Are they 30-minute episodes or like 24-minute episodes, or are they hour-long episodes? I'm guessing they're less than 30 minutes.
Make him a naked fat guy with a tiny
Okay.
penis who was incredibly insecure about it. But their motivation was not just to spite Trump. No, they were just doing what they had to do in order to get a reaction out of him. They were rage baiting him, daring him to get angry about it, because they knew that it would ruin any of the good graces Paramount and Skydance had just built with him. They were intentionally provoking him in the hopes that he would either file another lawsuit against Paramount or block the Skydance merger. I mean, just look at the way they portrayed him in this episode. As someone whose job it is to watch South Park, I can tell you in confidence that this is not normally how they would make fun of someone, especially in the modern era. I mean, just look at the way they portrayed him in the past. They very rarely will go this juvenile with their insults. Everything that they did in this episode, from the pictures of him on the White House walls to the repeated mentions of his tiny penis, was calculated. Not only to make this episode as memeable as possible to get everyone talking about it, but to go after the things that Donald Trump has proven to respond to in the past. If they just made fun of his politics like they did in the past, no one would have cared and they would have gotten nowhere. So they just clowned the dude in a way so over the top it wouldn't be out of place in a Looney Tunes episode. It reminded me so much of their episode on Osama bin Laden back in 2001, when they knew that no one wanted to see them make fun of the political climate or the nuance in it, so they just clowned him in a very similar way. All they cared about was getting their revenge on Paramount, and they did so in the most hilarious way possible. They took $1.5 billion from this company and immediately repaid them by spitting directly into their face, handing them a lit bomb, and saying, good luck with that. This might be one of the most nefarious, evil genius business moves I have ever seen in my life, and it just made Matt and Trey billionaires. And that might be the most South Park thing they have ever done. It almost feels like the decades of Matt and Trey farting in the face of the industry has all culminated in this, becoming billionaires from this industry they despise so much and immediately telling them to go fuck themselves. And it's obvious that Matt and Trey recognize that this is a dangerous game they're playing, as the whole subplot follows Cartman and Butters trying to kill themselves. This is literally Matt and Trey's suicide attempt, acknowledging that what they're doing could very well mean the end of the show. And if it does mean the end of the show, I honestly cannot imagine a better way to go out. It's absolutely poetic, and I think it might be the funniest thing they have ever done. So now I hope you guys can start to understand the gravity of the situation, so let's finish it up by talking about my feelings on the episode overall. So the first thing I want to mention is that the show is now streaming on Paramount Plus, and there aren't any banned episodes besides the Muhammad ones, which is great to see. But I do want to mention that Matt and
Why did they ban the Muhammad ones? Because it's a depiction of... They really did that in the United States of America? What? Really?
Trey are getting paid a flat rate regardless of if people watch on Paramount Plus, so I'm sure they could not care less if everyone started sailing the 7 seas, if you catch my drift. But one thing about this episode I was excited to see is that Garrison is seemingly back for good, and I cannot wait to see him play his old character again. It seems like they're setting up for Saddam Trump to be a recurring character, and I really hope that's the case because both him and Satan are great characters, and I'd love to see him a little more often. And what are they going to do with PC Principal, who gave up on all of his PC values just because it's not popular anymore? I don't know how to feel about that. On one hand, I would love to see him return to his woke, preachy character, but on the other hand, it could be interesting to see him be an anti-woke, preachy character. I also wonder what they're going to do with Cartman, since the last we saw he was trying to kill himself because no one is woke anymore. If I had to guess, I would say that they're going to make him become woke, since he'll realize that's the most effective way to piss people off nowadays. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the show itself did that for the same reason. I've already seen people calling South Park woke on Twitter after this episode, and I think that's pretty funny. I think what a lot of those people don't really understand is that South Park is satire. Satire is inherently counterculture. South Park has not changed at all over the years. They have always been counterculture. The only thing that has changed is the culture. South Park makes fun of whatever the dominant ideas in the culture are, and as the culture has shifted so much in the last 27 years of their show, the groups of people getting offended by the show has shifted as well. In the late 90s, early 2000s, it was the conservative, puritanical type that would get mad. Then the culture shifted towards tolerance and open-mindedness, and it was the liberals who would get mad, and now we've come full circle back to the conservatives getting mad. And honestly, I think that's just proof that South Park is doing their job well. The day people stop getting offended by South Park is the day that the show needs to end. But luckily, it doesn't seem like that'll be happening anytime soon. But all in all, I gotta say, this is one of the best episodes South Park has ever made, and we'll have to stay tuned to see the fallout. Matt and Trey have a Comic-Con panel scheduled literally for today, shortly after I'm writing this, so we'll also get to see just what they have to say about it. But that's all I have to say. This was crazy, and I'll see you guys after next week's episode, assuming the show still exists by then. So...
All right. Give me a yes or no in chat. First one decides it. I just need a yes or a no. Simply yes or a no. Where is it? Rusby, hit me up with a yes. Thank you.
Excuse me, where's Mr. Epstein?
Down the hall and to the left.
Thanks.
Based. What is this? Texting a girl how many steps you took today could be the play. 22,853. Big day. All I want is to be enough for you. Steps is a big factor in this. Wait, what? What's he doing? What? Oh, we got one. Easy. Every now and then we have to cleanse ourselves of these socialist tanky fucks that are rotting the world from within. Oh, he's on the fence? let me help you out there, buddy. Got him. Oh, got another one right here. Okay, here we go. All right. Well, this is what I can do to calm myself. We'll just do this for the next 30 minutes. Okay, here we go. Wait, I already banned this guy. Okay. Good one. True. Okay. I like the concern trolling one. It's my favorite one, I think. Can we get some chill band music? Oh, yeah, sure. There we go. Shh. Okay. Got this guy ready. Oh, got another one. Did I ban this guy already? Hold on. We should be adding to the coalition against Trump under the banner of the DNC. See ya. What? What? Oh, we got this. I think I got this guy ready. Yeah, we did. These guys play, remember, these guys delight the same way that fascists do, right? These guys play the same thing, word games, okay? This guy, no, what? Okay, so this guy said, it's not crazy at all. Hassan is way further from Destiny's position than Trump is. I'm not even sure if that's true, but this guy says, no, what? At worst, they're equally far away. Destiny is a liberal. Trump is an out-and-out authoritarian and wannabe copium dictator. Oh, wait, never mind. Oh, no, this guy even says it down here. Wait, Hassan is an authoritarian commie too. Don't get me wrong, but this is sane-washing how insane of a political figure Trump is. Does he think authoritarian communist is not an insane position? I'll leave him. You know what? He tried, so we won't ban him. Oh, I already banned this guy. Fuck. That feels good. When you see a dumb comment, it's like, oh, I'm a ban, and then you're like, oh, I already got that one. Haha, that's consistency. Stop. What's our band music? Oh, wait, hold on. No. Maybe? No. Fuck, there was a cute... There was a cute one of these a long time ago. I'm not gonna be able to find. Nope! No! This? It's not gonna be this one. No! What the fuck? There was a cute remix of this song. It's like 20 years old. Maybe it is this one. I think it is this one. Okay. Shh. Maybe it might be this one. I don't know. Wait, going with the USSR. Okay, got that one. Got that one. Oh, wait. Oh, I already got this one too. Got another one. There we go. Nope. Here we go. Okay, okay. Oh, did we get this one already? Nope. Oh my god. Yes. This isn't what I was looking for either. God damn it. I feel like there was like a hold on. I will find this. Imagine if you could ban up voters and down voters. Oh, hell the fuck yes. That's what we really need. There was a Ballad of the Windfish remix on this website from like 20 years ago that I thought was really cute. I'm not going to be able to find it now. I'm never finding this. Oh. Okay. Oh, more comments. Okay. I feel like this Ghislaine Maxwell is actually going to be... I feel like it's coming. The pardon is coming. And then the question is going to be who's going to be on whatever list she concocts for her pardon. What is this stream even from? Oh, is this Taylor Lorenz? Or how old is this?
The reason why I'm saying this is not because, contrary to popular opinion on TikTok from like leftists on Twitter, I'm not a shepherd for the Democratic Party. I don't give a fuck about the Democratic Party. But they are our representatives, and they're supposed to represent us. And they do have a platform, and the media does listen to them. So we have to wield them like a weapon. To the best of our ability. We have to use them to also continue yelling about these things that we care about. Because the reason why I'm saying
Based. Fuck, this guy's crazy. Or
Oh, y'all are moving so slow, bro.
There's no way y'all are that fast. Yo, he sat on top of me fucking people. Alright, they're eliminated. No, I'm on the chair.
okay, this says all the chairs break during musical chairs, and I feel like I see 1 or 2 chairs breaking at most. Are you talking to Tech Toad? I don't know. He had to be on Discord. I said hi at 12:30. He hasn't responded. Ask him.
Couple. Hello, fantastic couple. Wow, you guys, is it weird to ask you guys a couple in real life? Yeah. They are! Oh my god, they actually are! How long have you guys been together?
That's complicated.
Oh, okay, maybe I won't ask too many more questions like that then. Oh my god, yeah, oh my god, you guys are so cool. I don't even know what to say, sorry. I'm just, I get a little bit flustered.
I don't get it. Explain. My guess is people think it's like a huge reveal or something because somebody's cheating or something weird is happening, but it could also just be that they haven't publicly announced that they're dating or a million other things. I have no idea. I don't know. Oh, this one girl is an OnlyFans? Do people actually care about that much? I'm not sure. Stop! The incels that sub to her do, yes. I know you guys are all spamming that because it's like when you look around, that's the answer that everybody else gives and you feel like that's the one that you have to give, but I'm pretty sure the largest OnlyFans person in the world is Amaranth and she's literally fucking married, so I don't actually know if people who fucking jerk off to OnlyFans people give a fuck or not if the people are actually married. You know what? You know actually who probably cares more is probably people that watch like streams actually probably are more obsessed with whether or not the person is hiding a relationship or not because they've actually deluded themselves into thinking they have a chance with dating her, whereas people on OnlyFans know that they're there to jerk off. That's what I've heard from every single girl who does OF and Twitch, is that the really cringy parasocial obsessive people will almost always come from the ordinary streaming platforms, but on OnlyFans they generally they're there to fucking stroke it. I'm grumpy as fuck right now, okay? I don't understand this. I'm not sure what this tweet is supposed to mean. My DMs are open for apologies. Yes, queens, and any other capitulation of my intellectual I'm pretty sure I bullied the fuck out of this guy and tweeted horrendously mean shit, and then he eventually reached out. Like, I thought everybody's whole point was you need to be nicer, and he's responding to a tweet where I said, MAGA will never accept the fact that Trump is a kitty fucker because they'd be too depressed that Trump didn't fuck their own kid. I'm 99% sure that she would say, that's a really bad tweet that you shouldn't be making, but haha, seems like it worked. Why do women do this? Do what?
Oh my hell. When you almost light your trailer on fire. When you almost light your fucking trailer on fire. No, it's not! It's gonna be holy shit! No, it's not! No, it's not! Glad!
What is this guy doing with the towel over here? He's like, maybe I can just...
Glad!
Okay.
Still bad, bro? No, it isn't. No, it's not.
No,
He
it's not,
asked
bro.
me if he could do it, and I
Yeah.
said sure.
Okay.
It's his own money. That's not bad. That's like getting mad at a GameStop employee for buying games at GameStop. It's his damn choice. It's his money. Who gives a shit?
He's so fucked on this.
Why an alt though? You'll have to ask him about that. He did it on alt. He said that he did it because he didn't want to get bothered because the last time he did this, he got bothered by a bunch of people that got weird. That's whatever, right? Him doing an alt, I don't know why he does that, but that's his choice, not mine. Aren't you paying your moderators? Yeah, they're employees. All the moderators are employees. They are paid a full-time salary. They also get medical benefits, including medical, vision, dental, and life insurance. They are not asked to donate back to the stream
How many moderators does this guy have?
in any possible capacity. That is their paycheck to do whatever they want with it. And if they want to give that back to the stream, that is their choice. Yeah, that is actually insane. So no, he can do whatever he wants with that. Anything he wants to.
Survivor. Do you actually believe him? That would be a really crazy thing to lie about.
Oh, somebody get a sponge.
I don't understand. Why don't you get a sponge?
True.
Well, first of all, nice shoes and everything. I want to let you know that, we're doing a live stream, you know what I mean?
Okay, but can you not do it around here? Because
Is this the Reading Rainbow guy?
She's saying you're invading her space. That's what. No, but me,
I was
I'm
right
about
here.
communication. Like I'm a Pisces.
Stop.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Bro, stop! Bro, ow! Ow! Fucking stop!
Nice. Chat on the side. Jesus. Jesus.
Call the fucking cops on you, you fucking crazy stupid bitch! You're fucking fat as
Got him with the fat one.
Thank you. Great comment. Epstein list, but it's the Doles. You gotta fill in the names.
I saw,
yourself.
yeah. That's a fucking, it's a 5-letter word, and it has a fucking M and an R in it.
Obama.
Just 8 straight Obama guesses with like 1 yellow letter on the M. I just can't crack it.
Really interesting. This is like you in Vancouver. Huh?
You guys are in the wrong neighborhood. You get the fuck out of here, bro. I'm dead ass.
All right, man. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, get the fuck out of this neighborhood, bro.
I'm so gross.
I'm dead ass, bro. Nah, yeah, you cool.
We gotta go, bro. We gotta fucking go. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get
Jesus. Stop.
What the fuck? I can't move. No, not the horse.
Bro, I just got struck by lightning. I'm gonna stop stream.
What? You already got struck. It's not like lightning can ever hit the same spot twice, right? Isn't that the rule?
So I was sitting in here, I had my earbuds in. A big thing of lightning hit in like my ears. Like I felt lightning go through my earbuds.
What is this event? Soccer? Oh. 5 million viewers? 6 million viewers? Jesus.
Unánime. Todos los jueces han decidido por decisión unánime.
Damn, how many global emotes are going to be taken from Twitch? They got the Pogger guy a long time ago, right? The guy became like a MAGA loony. PogChamp? Why is the gun run gone? Because the Shoujo, V-Shoujo, has collapsed and it is no more. RIP.
Cool. Or not? Is there any way?
You debated him? Yeah, I remember a long time ago.
I didn't lose my job. Of course. Got too old, got outsourced. Same thing happened to my dad.
What?
Now you gotta fit in with a different generation.
What?
What about a vest and some cargo shorts?
All right.
Wait, what? Wait, why?
What? Oh, jeez. That was kind of dark, no?
Because chat voted for it. Chaos mod. Okay.
Show you my setup here. Oh, gotta be careful. I'm out here with my webcam. Got the chat right here. Got the laptop. Got the power bank. Got the modem. Got the power bank for the modem. Got the katiska. Got the fishing stuff. Got alcohol. Got everything. This is the best setup you'll ever see in your life. This is
nice. Uh-oh. Rip. Rip. Was this the largest VTuber agency, or were there larger ones? I actually have no idea. I don't follow any of this shit at all. Where's Jader? Isn't he obsessed with all these people? No, they're small. Oh. Oh, Hollow Live is the same.
What do you guys
thing.
think about Hitler?
What if the Jewish did something to the Germans that made them act a certain way, but nobody wants to talk about it? Like the Jews don't want to take accountability.
That's
They
good.
don't.
That's
What is-
Yes.
Why?
I'm with you on that one.
Okay.
I'm curious.
That's why.
And I
That's
used to
why.
work for-
Like
I'm with you on
they
that
was
one.
up to something, so the Germans wanted to take them out.
Like payback.
It had to be something. Like Germans wanted to take them out, all of them out.
They damn near
Martin
wiped
likes
everybody
pictures
off
now.
the map.
Something.
They started it.
So get somebody
Damn,
that
he
mad.
cheated hard. Like, yeah, talk shit about them. Eat them up.
The Holocaust was the only way he can take out a huge population, like a huge amount of Jews all in one setting. But I already know what's going on. Like, I'm not dumb. Like, I know, like, the Jews did something. That's why they sent up here. They're trying to take back, like, they're trying to take back and get repercussions, especially from America, like, from
Jesus.
Americans. So they're taking over the government and stuff like that.
I'm telling you, how do we take them down?
How do we take them down?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Feels like talking with a chat GPT or whatever. Miles or Maya, you've got him on like an unhinged route.
Kill the motherfucker.
I had to say it.
My bad, y'all.
Genocide.
My bad.
Hitler, he had the plan, but his plan was just too, like, very, like, gruesome, if we can say it.
Listen,
He said,
he had
"Fuck
to do
the
what he had to do.
world."
But he had to do it.
He was like,
Listen, he was trying to save the world.
I
It didn't
agree.
work out. He did. Listen, he just did
I
what he
mean,
had to do.
Jews are the reason why the healthcare system and everything around us in the government is collapsing, because they're sitting up here stealing away from the American people.
Jesus. Oh my God. What are we thinking? Nick Fuentes viewer or Candace Owens viewer?
No Quinn.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Whoop! Oh, shit. It happened to him, too. Look. Ah! He got shocked. Lightning struck. You can't see it, the flash, but lightning struck his house and he got shocked in his headphones. Oh, he was still getting electrocuted.
Oh, fuck. Holy shit. Oh, that was stupid. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, what? That's metal.
Oh, come on, Chad, make a run for it. Make a run for it. Give me the item. Give me the item. What the fuck, bro? Nah, I don't give a fuck. We're going in, Chad. We're going in. We're going in. We're going in. We're going in.
What the fuck? I can't even read this. Wow. This is fucking retarded.
You know what I think is making a comeback? Like people with hands. Well, I mean, everyone has hands. I mean, hand jobs. Okay, that sounded bad. Jobs with hands. Like jobs where you use your hands, okay? Basically, jobs where you use your hands, like surgery, woodwork, carpenter, plumbing, okay? Yeah.
Okay. Like jobs in general, or okay.
You guys aren't gonna laugh at this one because you're told you're not supposed to.
No, that's not this crowd.
All right, some dude beat the shit out of his girlfriend, right?
Well, you're off to a good start. You know how to get a crowd. You had them. You're like, yeah, I can top that.
How else are you supposed to watch the news? Am I really supposed to be going like, oh, for the whole time? Or you can laugh. I mean, it's a choice.
I have to
Like,
go.
how does it help me?
But how? Okay, I want to hear you pull this out.
So my wife was so sad about it that I had to make a joke because I wasn't mature enough to be sad with her.
Right.
So I was going like, what do you think she said? What do you think that last thing she said, right?
sake.
You know? Yeah, exactly. So she gets all mad, right? So she got really mad.
Why did she marry you? She's lovely. I've met her. She's wonderful.
So then like a week later, my mother-in-law comes over, right? And the fucking story comes on the news. And after the story's over, she goes, I know I shouldn't say this. My wife goes, Mom, don't say it. And she just goes, I wonder what the last thing she said was. And I died laughing. My mother-in-law died laughing, and my wife
Jumped out of the room.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, neither one of us beat her up. So, like, she can't hear us laugh. I'm not happy that happened.
Well,
I don't understand what the fucking news is. It's just like, hey, here's a bunch of shit you can't fix that happened that was horrible. Ah! Do you know what my gym?
Wait,
So I was going like, what do you think she said? What do you think that last thing she's mature enough to be sad with her?
Right.
So I was going like, what do you think she said? What do you think that last thing she said, right?
sake.
You know? Yeah, exactly. So she gets all mad, right?
Am I just? Is it the joke that just he asked her an impossible to answer question and it's just like kind of dark and? Because the wife told her mom, probably. The joke was that the mother-in-law asked the same thing. Oh.
The fucking story comes on the news. And after the story's over, she goes, I know I shouldn't say this. My wife goes, Mom, don't say it. And she just goes, I wonder what the last thing she said was. And I died laughing. My mother-in-law died laughing. My wife jumped out of the room. Yeah, but at the end of the day, neither one of us beat her up.
Okay, I get it. I got it. Oh. Never mind. I get it. Never mind. I get it now. The joke is, what did the girlfriend say to piss off her boyfriend to make him do it? Gotcha. Okay. My mind is going in a totally different direction with that. I feel like I've heard, am I crazy? Am I making this up? I feel like I've heard a joke before where like somebody, I don't remember. What is it? Like somebody is like dies in a fire, gets electrocuted, and somebody is like, and the joke is like, what is the last thing you think they said? And the answer like, they're like screaming. What am I, was this a comedian that said this? Is the thing I read? Does anybody have any idea? I thought this was the direction. I was like, I don't, but now I get it. Now I understand. You made it click more. Hello?
Hey.
Oh, hi, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, it's the weekend's landed, so pretty good. Yeah, I was gonna come on and mention my fundraiser for United 24.
Yeah, go for it. Hit us up.
Yeah, so in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be riding from where I live in Germany, in eastern Germany, to the coast of the Netherlands.
Where do you live in eastern Germany?
In Halle, so it's near Leipzig.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Like 40k away. And it will take me over a mountain range called the Harz. I'm planning to try and do it in 5 days as part of the fundraiser. And actually, it was the end part of a journey. The first time I cycled through Ukraine, I cycled back this way. So, yeah, I also put an article on Pragmatic Papers about my last time I was in Ukraine in 2017. I sent it to you. I think you may have seen it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we looked at it on stream, actually.
All right, cool. And yeah, some nice pictures of when I was over there. And yeah, it was, I didn't know it'd be my last time. Like, I'm always planning to do more rides, but yeah, I mean the war happened. So
What's the total distance you'll be traveling?
it depends on the route I take. So it's going to be somewhere between 600 and 700 kilometers. I'll put all my data onto Strava this time. So yeah, people can watch my pain.
Okay.
So I'll be staying in a tent most of the way there, unless I get invited to stay at a family home or something. But yeah, that
Do you have
tends to
like a
happen
giant
more in-
backpack on, or how do you bring your gear with you?
No, I just put it on top of my head, like they do in Africa with baskets. No, I've got loads of bags on the back of the bike.
Fuck you.
And did I get you? Yeah, cool. This time I won't travel my guitar though, but I actually need to take my work laptop, so I'll do some. I'm going to go to my parents after this as well, because they're just a boat journey away. It should be exciting. So there's a fundraiser as well on the Pragmatic Paper article if people are interested in donating. And the reason I chose United 24, they're currently raising money for air defense in Ukraine, for anti-mining equipment, and a lot of the projects seem to be funding stuff that's actually made in Ukraine. So it's also good for their economy.
Okay.
And I felt like I needed to do something finally because we as individuals, we complain about our governments. But sometimes there's things we can do, which is, not always easy to find a way to do these things. But in this case, I mean, there are a lot of good charities, not just United 24 being active and just donating, even a small fund, a small amount to these groups can make a massive difference. Like Anna's been doing herself as well. So, if we feel like governments aren't doing enough, we can do something ourselves. And yeah, so how are things with you at the moment? And yeah, I mean, it must be quite difficult with the political situation in the US. And yeah, they were going after AOC, right? For deciding to fund the defensive system for Israel.
It was just a dumb vote. Everything about that was dumb. Politics in the U.S. is just fucking retarded right now, and everything is just, I don't know. I'm ready to grab a rifle and go volunteer for Ukraine. I'll just go to the front lines and roll the dice.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying.
There you go. Trust me to do.
I mean, it's just basically like playing Call of Duty, right? So
yeah, it should be the same thing. Yeah, except everybody's a camper, and then you die to some random drone or missile strike. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's no restart button either, which is a bit annoying.
Well, depends on what you believe in, but yeah, I know what you mean.
No, actually, I mean, some of the stuff that goes on in European politics really mirrors, the States. I mean, of course, it goes in cycles, and we had we had Boris Johnson in power in Britain. There's competition for like which idiot can you get to be your leader. But at the moment, I'm going to write an article about this actually for the Pragmatic Papers on the fragmentation of the left in Europe, because it's happened also in Germany. But it's a bit different because it's proportional representation. But the UK is a lot more like the US in terms of we've got to play by the rules, and the popular vote doesn't matter. It's about getting your constituencies. And yeah, in the UK this past week, so the former Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn was kicked out of the Labour Party, and now he's forming his own party, and he's starting to attract members of the members of Parliament that are under the Labour Party at the moment towards his party, and I think this is really scary stuff.
Why do you say that?
Because it's just going to divide the vote on the left.
Wait, do they not have like a coalition thing in the UK, or?
Well, so at the moment we have Keir Starmer in the UK, right? So he's Labour leader, and within the Labour Party, there's a lot of factions, and there's a group called Progress. Progress were the faction that Tony Blair's people who were Blairites were members of. And there's another faction called Momentum, and Momentum was the one that got behind Corbyn and really grew when Corbyn was leader. But they're still nevertheless they're Labour loyalists, which is the way to do it in a way. I mean, like Hassan is a complete nutcase, right? He just wants to destroy the system. He wants a revolution, which I find sickening because revolutions never lead to what you want to get to anyway. So he's naive, even if he had.
What about the American Revolution, motherfucker?
Well, that was one of the exceptions, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, it wasn't that successful. You ended up with Donald Trump, so
Well, for now, okay, we're on a better path, I think. All right, maybe.
To speak positively, actually, in the US, you've got some great potential candidates for president in the Democratic Party. mean, I'm talking about AOC and Newsom, and actually, I think people really need to get behind AOC with what's gone on with these nutcases going after her. Maybe like as kind of more center-left people would need to. You need to.
No, I think AOC needs to build bridges with other people who are unhinged and fucking insane and want to burn down the rest of the entire United States and our democratic system. I think that's probably the way to go. But
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and then like fight it out with. I mean, there's enough guns in the US, right, for a decent civil war.
For sure,
that might be the way to go, actually. Yeah, and maybe just give the nukes, like you spread them out between the states, and that should even the playing field, I think.
I agree. We all just nuke each other, based.
And that sounds like a Civilization. Have you played Civilization, by the way?
No, never.
You never been tempted?
Nope.
Cool.
I think I played, what's the name of that one company? The people make fun of them for making autistic games. Paradox Games. I played the space one. Is it Stellaris?
Stellaris, yeah. Oh, that's got an amazing soundtrack.
Yeah.
That's a bit like. I mean, it's almost like it's an RTS, right? But you can slow it down so much. It's almost turn-based.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you find it? Did you get to the end part of the story?
No, I don't think so, because I always play on the hardest difficulty, and then whatever the big disaster is or the thing, whatever event I roll, always killed me. So fuck that game.
Yeah, exactly. But that's kind of like the end part, yeah. And it's all about allegiances, right? And otherwise you get completely destroyed.
Yeah.
But,
why are you big? Are you a big Civ player?
It's the first game. I'm a kid from the 90s, 2000s, and my mother got me a computer and with Civ 2. So I guess it's a little bit of nostalgia in there. But I played every game in the series, also Humankind, and it's a lot of fun to play politics in a game like that. But then it ends up with nuclear war usually. Maybe that's like reality as well, but we have yet to see that part. But and then actually I was in a shared flat before. I live with my wife in Halle now. But the flat was a pretty cool place. So I'd had a good abstinence from gaming for a long while, and then they started to network Age of Empires in the flat. So we had like each room had a computer playing Age of Empires, and that kind of got me back into it. But one of my housemates, who was also into LOL, into League, and that he would go on some crazy binges.
It's not a good game. Very bad for you.
Yeah, he kind of put me off, But I mean, with the way chat's been talking, it sounds like it's something to get into in 2025. So there's different tiers that you can get into in the competitive scene, right?
For League?
Yeah, for League. How does it work? Like,
I think for League they just had like the LCS or whatever, and then outside of that, I don't know if they do any tournaments or whatever. I think they kind of like monopolize the entire thing. Okay,
but like, how is it ranked in the game? Like, is it or do you get? I mean, you choose your own teams, right?
No, in League you can just either solo queue or duo queue.
Okay, and like, so if you solo queue, you get randomly assigned team members. And is that all abilities, or are the abilities ranked so that you go up tiers and stuff?
All abilities. What do you mean by that?
Okay. Well, like, I played. I mean, this is pretty embarrassing to say. I played World of Tanks for a while.
Nothing. I feel like I've heard of it. Yeah, but wait, have you ever played like Dota or Heroes of New Earth or? No,
there's World of Tanks was I never really got into the competitive scene. I'm not twitchy enough with these games. In fact, I pissed a lot of people off when I played like World of Tanks because I could be a bit slow in my reactions. But the thing was, it was always randomized in terms of the abilities of people in the game. So you'd get some excellent players in your team.
Oh no, I mean, like in most of these games, there'll be like matchmaking systems where like similar ranks are playing against similar ranks or whatever, right?
Yeah, well, some games are like that, some games aren't. I mean, I also play BDO, like Black Desert Online. Have you heard of this?
Yeah.
And so in the competitive scene in that, like, especially if you're doing practice runs, then you're completely randomized. There's no like rank system for the team that you get, and yeah, then you can really piss some people off if you're not good enough.
Sure. Yeah.
So what rank did you get to in the end on League?
Kill yourself. That's Diamond 1. Okay. It's my highest rank.
Yeah, because I heard that it was quite the arc that you went on.
Listen, it was
so
a long...
do you think...
It was a horrible... It was a dark moment in life, okay? It's just not a good game, okay?
Okay, so there's no more League in the future? Because Kafka was saying that he thought you might be tempted.
No, I'd probably just grind out my factory in Factorio and just AFK my brain. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so with the future regarding like the Democrats and stuff, you think it's sorry to bring it back to that if you don't want to talk about it, but I mean there were some positives there as well, right?
Where?
Well, in terms of the Democratic Party in the US.
Maybe, I guess, yeah. I mean, there are people there. Politics is just mind-numbingly fucking retarded right now in the U.S. We'll see where things shake out, I guess, in the next year. Maybe.
Yeah. But I mean, it's good to stay. I mean, not stay positive without. I'm a realist myself. Get the impression you might be, but there are a lot of reasons for positivity in regards to the situation. I mean, Trump is also really good at fucking things up for himself. So.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with this whole Epstein thing, it could really backfire on him. So if he
we'll
keeps playing
see.
with fire like this, I think there's a lot of opportunities for the Dems to pounce. And it's just a question of, I mean, like the idiots like Hassan, that's one thing, but there's also a broad church in the Dems. And I mean, going back to the UK situation, one of the problems that's caused it was that Starmer kicked Corbyn out. So Corbyn, it depends where you want to place him in politics, but I mean, you'd probably call him a lefty, but he was still super loyal to the Labour Party. And kicking him out in the end, it's ended up being much more destructive than just letting him be a member of the Labour Party and just basically ignoring him and putting him on the back benches. But sometimes that needs to be done, especially if there's some loyalty there. But
yeah,
I think so long as the centre left of the Dems don't push too many people out, like the AOCs and Sanders, and I'm sure they have supporters that are kind of, the quiet supporters who are sane, to put it frankly.
I mean, like AOC and Sanders are not like super loonies. They just, for some reason, not for some reason, but they attract a lot of like loonies. And a lot of those people are very like politically toxic, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're pretty loud. But there's also people that aren't loonies that they attract as well, right?
But they also say that again.
I mean, there are people. There are non-loonies that are also attracted to Sanders and.
Oh yeah,
and
like the
AOC.
majority of the people that like those politicians are probably not lunatics. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I must be. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I must be honest. Like, it's interesting from like our backgrounds, because you came from centre right, I would say, kind of the Bush type position in the early 2000s, and I came from. I probably at some point in my life I would have called myself a socialist. So that's why I sometimes fight back at when you're using the term kind of broadly, like a socialist, or I mean far left for sure, but some people who call themselves socialist are not cases. I wouldn't call myself that anymore, and I'm also politically moved closer to the centre anyway. But I still know people who would call themselves socialists, but they basically mean like a Sanders type politic.
Yeah, but
so
there's like a weird thing that's happened in the past like 5 or 10 years, from my perspective at least, in Europe, where you guys have people. This was true in Sweden and in the UK at least. I don't know, maybe in the rest of your countries. You guys will have there will be people in Western European countries that will call themselves socialists, but they'll just mean like sock dems. But then now you have people in the U.S. who call themselves sock dems, but they're just pretending and they're actually socialists. I don't know when this switch happened. It was very, very, very strange to me.
Yeah, but like you can use any of these labels to your advantage, or like they use it in a derogatory way. But I mean, it's the same things happening in Europe that we have. We also have our nutcases here.
Yeah, but I'm not looking at. It's not just word games though. The issue is that you have people who are deceptively and cancerously abusing these terms in order to do outright like propaganda for more insidious and anti-liberal ideologies. That's why I don't like to. That's why I have to be like very, very, very clear on what I'm talking about. Like Hassan and all of the people, his ilk in that camp, are like intentionally masquerading as liberals, using terms like sock dem or dem sock, but what they're pushing for is like ML beliefs.
Yeah, it is really scary when you hear what he's said to some audiences, which is kind of stupid in the day and age when these clips can be uploaded. And then he comes across as a very moderate voice, and then kind of being embraced by the mainstream. Like they should know better.
Well, nobody does any research. I mean, you saw like they published that one profile of him where they called him like a champion of the liberals or whatever, and they had to change the title. I don't know if more pushback came from their audience or from Hassan's audience, because like, he's not a liberal. He's way better than that, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, he probably fed some of that terminology to them to kind of, you know, he's playing the role of the chameleon, right? He's just trying to fit in with the group that he's talking to. He's very good at not putting forward arguments, but just in terms of glazing and making people feel warm and happy and fuzzy and everything else. You can see him doing that. But he's clearly a wolf in sheep's clothing. But we still have those in Europe as well. I just guess it's, you know, the information doesn't transfer over. It's maybe not as interesting or relevant sometimes to the American audience, but we are allies. And what happens in one region, whether it be Europe or what happens in the US, kind of affects each other. From a selfish perspective, we need to kind of support one another. And it's hard to see when this kind of stuff happens. But it's also important, as I said before, we mustn't just fragment every part of the left movement that aren't the cancerous cells of the body, and mistaken them for being cancerous because someone calls themselves socialist or such like. I think that the terms, you know, they get used all over the place, especially the older generation. Like my father would call himself a socialist, but you know, he's a really center left, and you know, we have this term champagne socialist. Yeah. So I mean, he doesn't drink, but yeah, he's one of those effectively. So, which is good. If there's less of these cancerous cells to cut out, it's easier to focus on them, and there's more reasons to be positive. I think it's a lot of these soc dems, as you would call them. They're going to be a good part of the movement. They should be listened to. I'm sure some of their policies, we could be reflected on, and hopefully it gets more towards a policy discussion rather than a discussion of labels at some point. And there's some great candidates there, right? I mean, you got a bit of a pick in terms of for the next presidential candidate.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's going to be like 3 years from now, so who knows? We'll see. We got to get through midterms first.
Yeah, exactly, and and that could also really change things if you can get the Senate.
I don't know if that's even possible, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thanks for having me on. And if anyone's interested on Pragmatic Papers, you can check out my fundraiser.
All right.
And maybe at some point I'll bring up some of my policy positions that are a little bit different to yours, and see what you think of them. But good luck. Yeah.
Well, everybody, be careful.
Take care, man. Bye.
Hello.
I'm looking for a Darius Thomas Ellis.
That's
Is he here?
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Cool. You're not in trouble.
Okay.
I just got some paperwork for you.
Okay. I'm like, okay, sorry. What's up?
Didn't mean to scare you. I knocked on the door and then I heard it open. So
it's okay.
You know what this is? You know what this is about?
I'm guessing.
What do you got? Let's see what your guess is, and I'll tell you if you're right.
It's about my ex girlfriend.
Yeah, protective order.
Sounds like
so you got a
situation.
Hearing. Yeah. So on this, it's an application for protective order. All right. You got a hearing. Court date information right here for you. 1700 Guad, July 30th, 2025, 8:30 a.m.
Okay.
Cool. Everything inside of a temporary ex parte order, you're now responsible for. Do not contact, stay away, all this stuff that's listed in here.
Okay.
If you do have any firearms, state of Texas, we assume everyone does. You need to surrender the firearms based on a policy with Travis County Sheriff's Department.
Damn. Really?
More of it as well. I feel that in the city as well. Like I feel that there is a camaraderie and there is pushback. Something Did you watch South Park last night? That was like so satisfying to watch because I feel like sometimes we forget how insane it is, and then it takes this show to come back and like remind us of like how fucking weird it is here. Like it is really weird. Like all the Christian nationalist stuff that's creeping in, it's really weird. And I'm looking at this and you kind of forget how weird it is, and then I was watching that show last night and going, this is so insane. My point being, it feels like there is this weird space where so many people are scared to push back against things, whether it's like 60 minutes settling or like people not being scared to like say what they're saying. Both of you are on your own independent platforms where you can say what you say. I'm just curious if you could each speak, maybe you Taylor first, speak to how it is to actually like talk to the truth of what's going on here and how scary or not scary that is. I don't know.
Yeah, I have not left the country, so I've not been detained by Customs and Border Control like Hassan, thankfully. I mean, you mentioned South Park.
Detained by border control like Hassan. Oh my god! Like this guy came out of a fucking concentration camp because Lil Bro fucking lied about his whole trip back into the United States. Kill me, dude.
And I think that one thing that I love about America, probably the main and only thing I love about America, is our civil liberties and the way that people value free speech. And, you know, I'm so grateful to have built my own platform and be able to speak more freely outside of the mainstream media. But we're seeing this, like, just record kind of assault on free speech, whether it's the media, like free speech in terms of the news organizations, but also civil liberties and independent free speech online. And, you know, both the Democrats and the Republicans are aligned on censorship. They're manufacturing a moral panic around the internet and social media and, you know, telling people to support things like the Kids Online Safety Act, this horrible, horrible censorship bill. They're trying to repeal Section 230, which is a law that essentially protects speech online. So I think that, you know, we need to do everything we can to protect it, to even be able to have episodes like South Park, and for people like Hassan and me to be able to express ourselves freely as journalists still, you know, in this time.
Yeah, I also wanted to talk about something else that's kind of tangentially related to the South Park thing, because we were talking about that, like, I'm glad that, you know, the faillennials and the boomer liberals, they like, you know, Donald Trump has a tiny penis, is cool, but like, I think in the real world, the normies are way more radical than the way that the media is presenting this like liberal style resistance right now. I see Deborah's and Barbara's like wine moms on Facebook being like, Hakeem Jeffries, you need to go out and die. You need to go out and put your body on the line. What the fuck are you doing? And it's like literally like a 50-year-old lady on Facebook with her government name. And we kind of saw a bit of that with the North Carolina, it wasn't Thomas Massey, Tom Tillis, where there were people like, I'm a 77-year-old veteran, and this is my name. My name is Hank Peckerson. I live on 1874 Bellevue Drive, and I'm gonna kill you with my AR-15. Like that's the type of messages they were leaving in this dude's office, and he's resigning. Like he's literally, this is his last term. So I think that people are a lot more radical now. This is a time, it's an unprecedented time to really get others on board, to explain to them that it's not your neighbors, it's not like a Guatemalan migrant that is responsible for all the shit that you're going through on a daily basis, not a trans person. I said this on Theo Vaughn's podcast as well. It's like a trans person is not your landlord unless, I mean, we're in LA, maybe you guys got a trans landlord, I don't know, but for the most part, it's, you know, it's your landlord, it's your bosses that are fucking you over, it's capital owners that are fucking you over, and I think this is a unique opportunity to get even Deborah's and Barbara's on board with that, like white wine moms. And you actually wrote about this, and it was a great video where you talked about, you know, someone has to do it. See, when I say that, everyone knows exactly what I mean. Which is, I think that shows.
Like, this is so crazy. Like, after 2 Jewish people were assassinated from some guy screaming "Free, free Palestine," 2 Democratic lawmakers were assassinated from some fucking crazy MAGA dude, and then now it's like, okay, well, the people we really need to be killing, guys, are the landlords and capital owners. Like, okay,
I was
bro.
on board with that, like white wine moms. And you actually wrote about this, and it was a great video where you talked about, you know, someone has to do it. See, when I say that, everyone knows exactly what I mean. Which is, I think that shows that there is a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, and untapped potential, untapped revolutionary potential, as a matter of fact. And it's a great opportunity for organizing, I think, in these unprecedentedly horrible times. So that's what I think.
Clapper.
Is he mad about me?
Guy, if he was on my platform.
It's actually, he's so fucking retarded. Like, can't you should have to sit down. This would be, you want the streamer Holocaust? You know what it would be? Here's how you, this is the streamer.
But I'm the one that gets in trouble.
Holocaust. You give him a book, and you give him some paper, and then...
What do you mean, but I'm the one that gets in trouble? I'm literally banned from your platform. What are you talking about? Is he really gonna victimize himself in front of me? Are you serious? What?
You give him a loaded gun, and you say, here's your choice. 1 hour of reading every day, or kill yourself. And 95% of streamers and YouTubers that cover the news would be dead in 2 days. It's unbelievable. Like, this stuff is out here everywhere. It's so easy to read. It's like, it's such a joke. And then instead we get Asmongold, okay, the fucking Roach King, to tell us the common sense about how it would be impossible to ever have any kind of interference in any kind of election. Because I guess Russia didn't have computers in 2013 when they didn't have the technology for it.
Yeah, everybody influences everybody's elections. That's never what was asserted. It's that they
No!
Just
read the indictments! Just read the... Not everybody does everything! Not every... Oh my god. I don't... Okay, I don't care. Who linked me Asmongold shit? Okay. I don't... What do we have for news today?
How do you think that the Supreme Court's ruling that benefited you on presidential immunity would apply to former President Barack Obama and what you're accused?
Okay, I've seen hoax shit. We've gone through this. Trump is into Scotland to golf. Why? To golf, that's why. More plane interviews. Yes.
And we're going to do some great things. Do you have any questions? What? Yes. I'll be meeting with the EU on Sunday, and we'll be working on a deal. We'll see if we make a deal. Ursula will be here, highly respected woman, so we look forward to that. That'll be good. We'll have numerous executives that we're meeting with. We're going to be meeting with a lot of people. A lot of people will be staying at Turnberry, and then we're going to Aberdeen, which is the oil capital of Europe, actually.
Mr. President, can you explain what is missing in the UK deal that you have to work out?
Nothing. We I think it's more of a celebration than a workout. It's a great deal for both, and we're going to have a meeting on other things other than the deal. The deal is concluded.
Well, let's welcome Republican Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis. Great to see you. Fed renovations began 8 years ago. This building we're talking about was finished 5 years ago, but shouldn't it be included in the overall cost?
Absolutely. I mean, it's part of the cost. And the fact that Jerome Powell was trying to debate that with the president on live television, it was a very embarrassing moment for Powell. And I think it just shows that he is incompetent, that he doesn't know what's going on. And, you know, it's not the only thing that has driven up the cost. This may be driving up the cost of construction at the Federal Reserve, but he's driving up the cost of interest rates, the interest that the American taxpayers are paying on debt. It's about going to be about $1 trillion this year alone, the American taxpayer paying on the debt because he will not reduce those interest rates. And it has an impact on everyday Americans in terms of their credit cards.
Maybe you guys should have. I thought we were going to cut the budget. I thought that. Why are we still borrowing money? What if we just stopped borrowing money? I thought we were going to have no more budget deficits. So why does the Fed rates even matter? I thought we were going to. I thought Doge and everybody was going to find. You know what we should actually bring back in this country? You know what we should have? We should have chattel slavery for MAGA. If you said that Doge was going to save us, $2 trillion was the original estimate. We should be able to enslave every single family member of every single person who supported that budget indefinitely. Well, not indefinitely, until the $2 trillion of savings is paid back to the United States of America. So they would be housed in concentration/death camps. They would be brutally pushed around and forced to work daily until all of the debt is paid back to the United States. And then in however many hundreds of years it would take for their family members, their descendants, these people would be forcibly bred like cows. Okay, so they would have 15 kids. You could constantly have them. And they would be in the mines because that's what we want to bring back anyway, right? The coal mines and clean coal. And it would be clean coal because we would force half of their children to lick the coal clean before we burn it. All right. And then when they die, we put the bodies on the ground, good for the environment, all that shit. That's what we should do. And you know what? Then I would be, okay, there's our $2 trillion in savings. Thank you.
Their loans on cars, their mortgages. So it's past time. These interest rates, by the way, were set when we had a 9% inflation under Joe Biden. For whatever reason, Jerome Powell doesn't want to reduce that, and it's hurting everyday Americans.
Yeah, he had that look on his face that of someone who'd rather have a root canal at that moment. But let me move on to this. President Obama's former chair of the Global Development Council, economist Mohamed El-Arian, blasting Fed Chair Powell on Kudlow just moments ago. Listen to this.
But I've never called on him to resign until now. Why? Well, I've been critical because of his monetary policy mistakes, letting inflation go all the way up and being late in raising interest rates, supervision mistakes, communication mistakes.
Is this guy related to McConnell? What?
And the list goes on. But now, the longer he stays at the Fed, the more he threatens something that is very essential for our economic well-being, and that's the independence of the Fed.
So is Powell pretending here, Congresswoman? I mean, Trump has been very vocal in wanting him to resign or be fired. I feel like the president is backing off a little now, but what's your take?
Oh, I've said that it would be better off if he left for the reasons I mentioned before. I think he has it's what this gentleman just said. So obviously he's getting bipartisan criticism. But in addition to that, it's the impact that his refusal to lower the interest rates, which we think is past due, is having on the American taxpayer and the American consumer.
Like, you don't get to say that you should lower or raise the interest rates. Like, I like how we've just given up that whole thing and that we're having a serious conversation about this. Like, there's a reason why the Federal Reserve is independent from any political party or Congress or the executive branch. Like, I know that it really upsets Trump that he can't personally control every single part of the fucking government.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, isn't it? But bottom line, Congresswoman, this is just another example here of the Trump administration trying to cut costs. And even Jay Powell is trying to squirm his way out of the total cost of these renovations. And the fact that it's been done so transparently, I think, is another promise being kept by the president.
Absolutely right. The president is looking out for the hardworking, taxpaying American, once again, the small businesses that are looking for access to capital, the people, the consumers who are trying to purchase their first home or get a car for their family. Those are the people that are getting hurt by this guy. And the fact that he doesn't even know what the cost is of renovations in his own building that he has been, residing in terms of his office space for the last 8 years is really problematic.
It is indeed. We'll have to leave it there. But Congresswoman Nicole Maliotakis, thank you so much, as always, for joining us. We do appreciate it.
Tim Heidecker fan. Who is this guy?
I liked your initial answer. I liked you said.
Wait, we've heard this guy's name before. Oh, Tim and Eric show? Is that what he's from? They have a podcast? Do they do politics now too? Why does everybody have to do? I don't even know, actually. Sorry, I don't know.
Try to be that person, and I agree. I think you are honestly, sincerely a great example of a progressive, a progressively masculine man who lives his life in a way that is towards the betterment of society and embracing all genders.
He's been doing politics for 20 years? Oh, okay. Well.
And all that sort of good stuff. However, I did not, was not super fond of the second example that you gave.
Who?
The second example that you gave, which seemed to be just the first thing you could think of, was Hassan Piker.
Oh, okay.
So,
is he a bad guy? I don't really follow this stuff that closely. He's not. I thought he was a good guy.
I understand that, and that's what it seemed like from what I could tell. You obviously haven't kept up with him or anything like that. And I'm not here to give you a whole briefing on him or anything like that, or to preach to you about how he's not the best person to promote in that sort of way. But it is kind of a commonly known thing in the leftist space that he is very prone to misogyny, and he is kind of a person that is progressive and masculine, but not necessarily using their masculinity in a progressive way. So I kind of just wanted to
Strike it from the record.
Well, you know what's interesting is I'm doing a show with Hassan on Friday.
Yeah.
And I got someone in my DM saying you've alienated a bunch of us because of the Hassan thing.
Yeah.
Really, like how bad?
Let's do this.
Like, do we have to have these purity tests?
Yeah, let's
Does
not eat
everyone
our
have to
own.
be perfect?
Let's not eat our own.
I don't know what he did.
Doug, I want to say to you, I did see that like you will be performing at an event that he's a speaker at. That's entirely different because you're just at the same event as him. It's not necessarily promotion of
What
him.
are we
You're kind of
learning
sharing
about
the same
these
space, and I think
alert?
that's good and healthy, especially with it being a dialogue where he's a panelist and as opposed to somebody that will have no pushback in any sort of way.
Oh no. Does Dan still have his Intel stock? Intel expected to lay off 24,000 employees this year to retreat from Germany, Poland, and Costa Rica.
Why? Tell me why. Every day I go out, looking adorable, tits bouncing, skin glistening, and yet nobody ever hits on me or approaches me. Ever! Oh my god, like please. I'll take a fucking construction worker catcall at this point. Please.
Why do incels always fall for this bait? A lot of women told us to not approach in public or we would be called a creep. Society told us to stop. 100% of men that post this online are too much of an aspy autistic fucking loser to ever talk to a woman anyway. Why are you pretending like this is the one fucking thing that keeps you from going up to a woman and talking to her? This is like rage bait on rage bait. Please fucking stop. Oh my God. Like, I'm imagining, like, all the frat boys are at, like, their college fraternity drinking beers, and, like, what'd you guys do? It's like, well, I had to stop hitting on women because they told us it would be creepy. Like, why are we pretending?
The pilot got in that Southwest flight.
Tom, this happened at 14,000 feet as the Southwest plane was climbing out of the Burbank airport headed for Las Vegas. A source with knowledge of the event says a Hawker Hunter, a vintage British fighter plane, came dangerously close to the Southwest plane, setting off collision warnings and forcing Southwest to take evasive action. Tonight, a pilot forced to make a dramatic dive mid-air to avoid a potential collision with another plane.
I've never felt anything like that. And I turned to the people that I was flying with, and I was like, I don't want to die.
Me neither.
I was terrified. I thought this was it. I thought this is how I go out.
It happened on Southwest Airlines Flight 1496 from Burbank, Southern Cal to Las Vegas. Southwest says its pilots got 2 TCAS alerts, terrain collision avoidance systems, serious warnings that they could soon collide with another plane and must change their flight path immediately. The pilots climbed, then descended, according to the airline. Steve Ulazwis was on board.
That there was this large drop. I want to say it lasted for 8 to 10 seconds. Just complete free fall, was like out of my seat, body out of my seat. People were screaming. Just felt like pandemonium.
2 flight attendants are being treated for injuries. Ulazwitz says he saw one of them.
She looked disoriented. Her hair was kind of all of a mess. And they sat her down at the front and gave her an ice pack.
No passengers injured. The flight continued on to Vegas, where Southwest says it landed uneventfully. It's the latest close call in the skies. Just last weekend, this video from the North Dakota State Fair captured a Delta regional jet
they got the video of this.
and diving to avoid an Air Force B-52. And on Monday, an Aeromexico plane landing in Mexico City narrowly avoided a collision with a Delta flight cleared to take off from the same runway. Tonight, Ulazwitz says he's just happy he's safely on the ground.
Tom joins us again live. Tom, quite the moment when that plane landed in Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's right. We're told that passengers all applauded the fact that they were on the ground safely. And
There's like half of... This is every flight going into Vegas, actually. Everybody fucking claps on these flights. I don't know why. Is Hassan the I am a cuck guy? Or is Tim... Does he have a joke? I don't even know. Okay. Oh, just because I know this is going to be clipped a million fucking times. Pisco's changed this question like 15 times. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but So the question initially to counterpoints was like, who should you try to appeal more? Like to the people that are more moderate left or to the far left tankies that want to rape and murder every single capitalist and every single person that wouldn't support their uniparty ideology. And for some reason, Pisco thinks it's better to support the rapist murderers than people that are just moderate left Dems. So the question transforms, now the answer to that is obvious, so then the question transformed to, oh, well, who would you rather vote for? Hassan Piker or Donald Trump? Which is like, that's not really related at all to the question that was posed before. But this tweet here was, LOL at people adding me with this clip in response to a thought experiment I ran with Counter Connor, which was essentially Trump or Hassan. Who do you pick? Who is a closer ally to the Dems? Notice how he changes. It's very strange too, because for a lawyer you would think that like the words matter, but they don't. He bounces between so many different words. Who is a closer ally? Who would you support? Who would you vote for? Who should you appeal to? Like it's constantly like switching the words here, depending on what he wants the argument to be, right? And of course, predictably, some people pick Trump/Kirk/MAGA, revealing their unhinged derangement. That their main enemy is not Trump, it's Hassan Piker. So now it's like, well, who is a closer ally becomes, well, who is the main enemy? Okay. I say some because even Destiny subreddit, the left community that most despises Hassan, shares that preference with me. So now if you express, but now this is saying like, who would you rather have as president, right? So this is a different question, and it's Charlie Kirk versus Hassan Piker, but this is a different question than like, who do you pick as a closer ally to the, like it's, but. So now if you express a preference for Hassan Piker over Donald Trump, now it's just a preference, I guess, okay, over Donald Trump, you endorse Hassan or want to be friends with Hassan or want to build bridges with Hassan, absolute derangement, sorry to say. So I think I quote tweet this with like, Hassan just uses the Democrats to push for his ML beliefs, right? And he does. Hassan said this like a million times. It's not even like, this shouldn't be controversial at this point, right? So now the question is, Hassan or Trump, who are you voting for if you had to pick? So my interpretation is, who can be president and do stuff, I guess is how I'm interpreting this initially. So my response is, Trump at least has some vague notion of supporting America, however misguided it is. If he destroys the country, it would be a byproduct of his stupidity and narcissism. With Hassan, it would be by ideological design. He supports foreign terrorist groups, despises U.S. allies, supports historical revisionism to paint U.S. adversaries in a better light, has admitted that he would ban opposing political parties in the United States and would lock his enemies forever in re-education camps if they didn't agree with his political ideology. As a Marxist-Leninist, he would support the creation of a single vanguard party to violently enforce all of these changes. This is just what we know of Hassan's views publicly. We also know that he stated on shows that he hides his true beliefs so he can funnel people further down the radicalization pipeline. We've already survived 4 years of Trump. I'm not convinced we'd survive 4 years in a Hassan-styled regime. And then, because he likes to get like the clips or whatever, so then he says, so who would you vote for? So you would vote for Trump over Hassan, correct? And then my response is, I would vote for the guy who supported January 6th versus the guy who supported October 7th, yes. And then he says, we have an honest disagreement then. I would vote for Hassan over Trump. I see Trump and MAGA as a greater enemy than Hassan Piker. So then I say, well, that's because you don't think tankies are really that bad. And then he says, I hate tankies. I'm not socialist/communist like you convince your audience. I never said he was socialist or communist. I just think he's way too tolerant of tankies. I just think fascist Trump is my bigger enemy. I'm not convinced Trump could turn this country into a Marxist hellhole if he wanted. So now we get like this very clever switch into, well, hold on. Are we talking about which regime we would support? Which is very obvious because at the end of my tweet, right, I literally say, we've already survived 4 years of Trump. I'm not convinced we'd survive 4 years in a Hassan-styled regime. But now we've switched to, I'm not convinced Hassan could turn this country into a Marxist hellhole if he wanted. I think Trump and MAGA are doing far more damage than good. Well, now it's become a pragmatic switch. Oh. So I say, you've morphed this into a fundamentally different type of question then. If you're simply asking who I would vote for if the election were tomorrow and the rest of the political system/country would remain the exact same, well, then I'd vote for Hassan because he's too stupid and his ideas are too radical to get anything done in this country. But that's like asking if I'd vote for Trump versus Hitler. I'd heavily consider voting for Hitler over Trump because, despite how bad Trump is, I think Hitler's name alone would probably scare off the majority of the Republican Party from working with him. That's kind of a meaningless statement and misses the central point of the question. I don't think the point of Pisco's question was who politically would be more effective in office. I think it was like who, like ideologically, if they could enforce their whole view, would you support? If we're just saying like what could somebody get done, well, fine. I would just vote for the most unhinged person ever because then nobody would. I would vote for Satan, I guess, because I don't know if people are. It's hard to say with MAGA these days, right? And then he says, I don't think I've morphed anything. I'm saying gun to your head right now, Trump or Hassan. Like, notice again, like Trump or Hassan, what? Would you vote for them? Do you support them? Or would you have them in a country where they can like be a dictator and rule everything? Like we retreat back to the vagueness here when I clarify, oh, well, hold on. If you're just saying who can pragmatically get done with more, well, then I would change my vote. But now we go back to the vagueness, right? Back to the vagueness. And I guess I'm not sure what your answer is or when you'd support Trump in this context. It's very obvious when I would support Trump. I think I've laid it out in all of my answers, but he's not really responding to almost anything I'm saying. It's why they're like one sentence responses and basically avoiding engaging with almost anything I've said so far. I'm obviously taking for granted the political system of the USA. I also think Hassan is more aligned with you and Dems than fucking Trump. I don't know how you would ever measure this in any way, size, shape, or form, right? Like, let's say that I believe that murder is bad. Am I more aligned with somebody who thinks that shooting people in the head randomly is awesome? Or am I more aligned with somebody who likes to guillotine people randomly? Like, I don't know what the answer to that is. I'm not sure. Hassan and Trump are both anti-liberal people. Hassan more so ideologically than Trump because Trump is just fucking retarded and doesn't even know what liberalism is. But Hassan is ideologically opposed to my political system. Right? I don't know if Pisco remembers, but like the whole Cold War was like liberalism and capitalism versus whatever the fuck Marxist-Leninist shit the Soviet Union is. Now, all the MLs will say it wasn't real. I don't even know what they fucking say about it at this point. I'm not sure. Basically, I think the answer is overdetermined when we're talking about Trump. So now I try to get clarity here. Support or vote for? You keep changing the question. There are tons of implications in each of these terms. I would vote for Hassan because I know he has zero chance of winning. But again, that kind of misses the point of the question. In what world is Hassan more aligned with me than Trump? Hassan is fundamentally anti-capitalist. He's anti-liberal. He's anti-USA. He's anti-intervention in probably all scenarios. He thinks the U.S. is probably one of the most evil countries on the planet, and he's pro-monoparty through violent enforcement. 4 question marks. Okay, for crystal clarity, vote in an outcome determinative fashion, i.e., who are you actually picking? In your perfect world, who is winning? That's what the question is trying to suss out. And again, he's missing the point. Winning? Do you mean winning the election and then having an authoritarian dictatorship? Or do you mean winning the election with everything left as is and then they can't do anything? Again, I don't understand how he keeps missing like the point of everything that, like something is not clicking or connecting in here. And I don't know if it's because he's so emotionally dug into his position and he realized like it's kind of like bankrupt and now he is like trying to like run around. I don't understand how you can miss it so hard. That is the question. That is what the question is trying to suss out. This is not something being sussed out. This is just a point blank, one-dimensional, retarded question. There is nothing sussed out in who would you vote for if they could win the election. The question is like, do you think that like if they could enact their perfect policy agenda, whose agenda would you more agree with? That's what you're trying to suss out, right? There's like the underlying concept. Political alignment, can answer that by getting ready for a debate. I think he's going on Tim Pool or whatever. But so, yeah, but he never responds with, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, that were these tweets. I'm like 95% sure that Pisco will be on shows later saying like, Destiny said he would rather vote for Hitler than Hassan, or Destiny wants Trump instead of Hassan because he doesn't like socialists or something. And then it'll be, you guys are just unhinged and you're mad because I'm not unhinged about Hassan or something, basically, yeah. I think the issue is no one's clocking on the business. Like when people say, because the answer is you prefer fascism to socialism, when they say this and they smile, right? What they mean is fascism is the Nazi party and socialism is Sweden. That's what they mean when they say, I hope you guys know this. If you disagree with me, also I perm ban you. I don't allow any of this shit in my community anymore, okay? This is not a socialist or communist utopia. I need you to understand this, that if you are truly like a socialist, like worker sees the means of productions, I view you the exact fucking way I view a fucking Nazi, okay? 100% you were the exact same to me, all right? If I had two of you and one gun and one bullet, all right, I would smash your fucking heads together and aim right down the fucking middle, all right? Maybe a little bit more to the side, depending on which one of you I hated more personally. It's clear you are both not thinking about the same question, but I don't know if he's just not understanding. I mean, my points are pretty obvious, but I think like if I'm like, I feel like I'm expanding a lot here, but then it's just a one sentence response. So like, I think if I'm expanding on my point quite a bit, and then it's always like a one sentence response or something that just seems to be missing the point of what I'm saying. I don't think my, actually, who said that? Hold on. You're banned for a day. No, stop doing this. Stop giving cover like when people are just being intentionally retarded. You're doing it. You're doing it right now. Please stop. It's pretty fucking obvious. It's pretty obvious what's being said here. Okay. And then the onus is on the other person to clarify if they're having trouble understanding. If somebody says, is your favorite color red or blue? And you're like, do you mean like political parties or like which one makes me feel better? Or what? And the guy's like, red or blue? And you're like, I don't know, I guess blue. And the guy's like, so you hate red? And you're like, well, when you say hate red, hold on, do you mean like would I ever like choose to wear this color, would I ever do this? Or and it's like, would you ban red or blue? It's like, I don't know. And you're like, well, I think that there's just a miscommunication between the two parties. Actually just fucking end yourself. You're so fucking stupid. Oh. Man, what a world we live in today. What else is going on? Oh, you know what we have? We have our guy. Let's just finish.
And I've chosen to live every day since then. And I really do mean it. I'm in a better place inside than I've ever been in my life because of that. If that, yeah. I don't know if it makes sense, but
makes perfect sense to me. So you mean to say, you know, when those headlines first broke, the emotional impact was so strong that you felt like, for one, if you would have relapsed, you would have gone down a hole that you never would have been able to dig out of. And because you were able to survive, and also because overexposure has kind of whittled down your sensitivity to certain headlines, pictures, and buzzwords, that you're now stronger and able to face things with less fear.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, what happened to me is literally their worst nightmare, particularly if you've ever suffered, from addiction. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine having every most embarrassing moment of your life? Or, I mean, some that aren't even embarrassing, but just private. Literally, not just published once in your local newspaper or, in a magazine article that went away, but by everyone over and over and over again, constantly. And then add on top of it, and then add on top of it. And so then everything that you do is whether it's positive or completely neutral, to move on with your life, is reframed to fit their narrative. So take the painting, for instance.
Well, yeah, to clarify, you had an art show pretty much in the midst of all this controversy. I remember I was trying to cover it, I think, back in the day, but it was almost impossible to get press because I emailed the gallery where you had the show a day before. But I remember that thinking to myself, that's cool that he's putting himself out there. Didn't realize that it had also been spun into the laptop web.
Well, by the way, not only spun into that, but what it ended up happening is that the gallery got attacked, literally physically attacked. Someone came into the gallery, assaulted two of the people that worked there, spray painted the walls. They set up a protest for weeks on end in front of the gallery. They doxed the gallery owner. They doxed the people that was known that purchased the paper. They got subpoenaed. My gallery owner had to spend close to $500,000 to defend himself before Congress. I came to the conclusion that one of the reasons that I didn't choose a life that is as an artist.
Wait, holy shit! What the fuck is this? Wait, what the fuck? What were these guys doing? We had access to the recent V Shoujo pitch deck, and some of the stuff is really interesting. 20 to 30 employees, like full time? Hold on. StarCraft 2. Wow, experienced executive team. How many people were on V Shoujo? Was it 15 or? Ten talent managers. 10 talent managers? They say dedicated staff. Does that mean like W-2? Like full-time employment? What do they have? One manager per, or like one manager for every 2 talent? What the fuck? Just want to clarify, some people with permission from this individual himself who was DMing, the staff were not involved in this pitch deck. The personnel was completely used by V Shoujo, and he's truly innocent. Okay. Milestones. We're #1 outside of Japan. Wow. Bilingual team. Exploring game licensing and other IP opportunities. Do they are there VTubers that are licensed to video games? Has that happened? They had Smite skins. I wonder what the ownership or licensing deal like that is like, considering that the agency doesn't own the IP from the VTuber talent. Plan to expand from 12 to 30 to 40 talents. They really had one. They really had one like talent manager per talent. What? Financial projections, October 2024 forecast. So sponsorship revenue and merch revenue was 3.6 mil. Other revenue, okay. So their total revenue was $3.6 million. COGS is, what is COGS? Cost of general, fuck, what does COGS stand for? It's cost of something. I think it was in here earlier. Goods and services. Cost of goods sold. Cost of goods and, hold on, why do people give me different answers? Cost of goods sold. Is $3.2 million. What the fuck? What were they to do? What? Wait, is this wait, cost of goods sold. Is this the money that they had to spend to sell, to make this money, basically, right? This is an expenditure, right? Like this is a revenue, and then revenue less COGS is going to be. Wait, what was this money spent on? What is this? What is this? Talent manager cost and COGS scales with talent growth, while corporate team comp remains fixed, targeting 20% OPEX reduction through ongoing Wait, what? And then salary and payroll is a separate line item for what? For management? Or for what the fuck? The corporate team, 1.9 billion. Wait, how are they spending so much money? It's virtual shit. They're not even real people. What? Operating income, $2.4 million loss. Moderate 2025 projection, 1.8 million lost. And if they do aggressively well in 2025, then they'll only lose $300,000. I don't understand how they can. What are they spending all their money on? Cost of goods sold. I'm so curious what this was. Were their talent managers getting paid like $300,000 a year each or something, or what? Little dance animation I did for a V shoujo job. They probably shouldn't have paid me $950K to animate this if they were low on cash. There's no way they paid $950K just for this. This is either like part of like a hour-long thing or it's in some weird like crypto thing or whatever, yeah. Expect to achieve 4.8 million revenue in 2025 from sponsorships and merch segments. New IP license could bring additional 2.3 million. Gross margin improvement is driven by higher take rates and updated talent contracts. Higher take rate means what? Greater split to company for income? Like going from like a 1585 to like a 2080 contract? Is that what they mean by higher take rate? Talent manager costs and COGS scales with talent growth, while corporate team comp remains fixed, targeting 20% OPEX reduction through ongoing optimization. How are they planning on cutting their corporate team pay? Or they're just going to start firing people? What? Jesus. The V shoujo merch-driven business model never made much sense. It stuck out as being unreasonably different from the arrangements with other corps. Merch can bring solid revenue but thin margins and is lumpy cash flow in this industry. Really? I feel like merch... I feel like it's the exact opposite. I could be so uninformed here. But I thought that like merch and toys and shit, like I thought in the anime world, I thought these were your huge margin items. And as lumpy cash flow in this industry, they would have to have barely any headcount or just be running losses continuously. Guess we know what the plan was, to just lose money forever because the model doesn't... What is the... I just don't understand. But also I truly don't understand because I don't know what all these agencies did. But if you were to tell me that there were 15 VTubers who were being managed by people and you had to pay for all of the management for that, like, what are you even doing that you're spending this much money? I'm so confused. And just your company alone is making $3.6 million in revenue. I'm sure some of this COGS, this is the merch revenue, right? So the profit from that merchandise was probably... I guess we'll just say like 10% or whatever. So maybe the revenue is only like 2.3 mil or 2.2 mil or something. But even so, $2.2 million to manage 15 VTubers. I'm just so fucking confused. What were they doing? How do they have 10? What were these guys doing? Wait. 10 talent managers. What were these guys doing? Are VTuber salaries included in COGS? No, it shouldn't be. I don't believe so. They were doing shit like $1 million ad campaigns, which failed miserably. That's one thing I know. Yeah, I saw that. That's crazy too. Jesus. It's so weird to me. I mean, I guess it's a little bit outside of my area, I guess. But like when I think of like streaming and YouTube stuff, this is some of the lowest cost to entry revenue generation you can ever do, right? Like I'm sitting at my home right now. Like the investment is like a fucking computer and a microphone and a camera. And then it's just you're printing money at that point in exchange for time. And I feel like to like be super unprofitable on that, you have to fuck up a lot. Skip to 40-minute challenge what they wanted in contract for revenue, etc. Yeah, but this isn't gonna tell us like what they were spending the money on though, right?
At this stage of the contract, when I call them red flags, it is more so I've been dealing with contracts for a while at this point in my career. Lots of contracts are, I hate this word so much, standard contracts. So things you can negotiate, you can negotiate, right? My biggest contract was the revenue share. I did not like how their revenue splits with merchandise and similar things. I'm not gonna go through the whole list like in detail. It is literally like a 2-page fucking doc, bro. But they wanted too much revenue share, way too much. Like, that was absolutely not it. And the money they offered me in exchange for taking this much of my revenue was just not even
when she's saying 2 pages, I don't think she means like the whole contract was 2 pages. I think she means they had 2 pages of just different things that they wanted rev shares on. That's how I read what she just said. There's no way that this agency was sending out 2-page contracts. Doesn't sound like it.
That was an insult. It was an insult. The money they said they would provide me with each month for stuff like concerts, models, assets, commissions, whatever, it was an insult. With how much they take, it's an insult. I also didn't like how they kept calling 50-50 splits. That was a genuine red flag because they kept calling 50-50 splits the
industry standard.
What was that word? Industry standard.
I feel like industry standard are most like talent related stuff. If you're really preferential, it'll be 10% maybe. But otherwise, I think it's generally like 15. And then when you get north of like 20-25, you're in some like SCAMAZ territory for at least for like in-demand talent. Although maybe the norms have changed since I've seen any of these contracts.
Any corporate that hires you and always puts emphasis on industry standard, run. Run. First of all, 50-50 is not the industry standard. It is not. Absolutely not. No. It should be much closer to, and like some people get it as low as 20%, 15 or 10. 50-50 is abysmal. Also, third-party deals was also the biggest red flag. They wanted 5% on third-party deals. I wanted them to negotiate it down to 0. If you don't know what third-party deals are, third-party deals is stuff that...
Oh shit, when they say third-party deals, they mean stuff that they're not even responsible for negotiating. Right? Why would they get any of that money?
That they have nothing to do with.
Yeah.
It's me
Jesus.
Doing stuff. Me, mine. If Mythic brings me an offer, they want 5% on top of Mythic's. Like, what? Nah, so I was like, negotiate this down to 0. One thing that wasn't a
I'm literally in Discord, you retard.
red flag at first, I also told them, stay the fuck away from gamer subs. Stay the fuck away. Literally, stay the fuck away. And at first they were like, sure, fair. But then they tried to be dodgy about it, and they were like, for the time being, yes, until we renegotiate the contract. And I was like, no, stay the fuck away. No renegotiation. And their excuse for this was, as part of Vishojo and part of the brand name, part of the income and opportunities that come my way are due to Vishojo in my name. And I said, no, all of these things are stuff I did myself. You don't touch it. So yeah, the biggest red flags were, one of them was they refused to go down to 0% third-party deal fees. Again, third-party means Mythic gets me a sponsor, and Vishojo isn't touching it. I get myself something, I don't want Vishojo to fucking touch it. And they couldn't let go of that. They just couldn't. I said if you have involvement, I said if you're involved in any of these and help out, you can have maximum 5% based on involvement. But if there's no involvement, it's 0, and they refused. Another, probably the by far biggest red flag, I say this now, but maybe later on I will get reminded of something else. The by far biggest red flag, the two, sorry, that kind of intertwine.
Hey Steven, hello?
All right, what's up? What do you want?
Wait, let me put you in my ears. Hold up. Okay, so 2 things. Wait, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, 1. So you had to go to like a dermatologist and stuff recently for like some boring hair issues, correct? Did you just fart? Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, you had to go to a doctor for hair issues recently, right?
Sure. What's up? What's your question?
Could I have you look at something and like tell me if you think it's like whatever you had, or maybe
Yeah, I'm a doctor. Sure. Send me a picture. Yeah.
So can I just like show you over camera right now?
Sure.
Okay. Are you looking at your camera? Squeeze, can you hold the camera for me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
It's like a ringworm, alopecia.
We're trying to figure out. So I did a consultation with like an Amazon.
Wait, there's no way this is real.
No, I'm dead ass. It's real. Okay, so some of it's a design, right? But this right here, this is real. This is not a design. Like, look at this. This is it. And then this stuff right over here. This stuff right here is not real. This is not real. I'm not doing a meme for you right here.
Can I show them this? This is the original one.
Okay, show them the original one. Show them the original image. Before the designs came. So can you zoom in?
It's literally, it's like a blown out white image. I can't see anything in the back of that head.
Yeah, I know. Can you like zoom into it? Look at the camera, retard.
It's zoomed. It's the lights, dude.
So zoom into on the phone.
I see it on the bottom left. Yeah. Okay. What about it?
Okay. Okay. What do you think that is? Like, or did you have anything like that?
You're cancer. It's cancer.
Like,
you're dead.
Okay, you're joking for no reason. You could actually help for once.
I don't know. Go to a dermatologist and ask. No.
Dude, it takes like 8 days. I need to get stuff done now.
Hair-related stuff is always going to take a lot of fucking time anyway, so.
I know. Someone said it's tinea capitis. I don't know what the fuck that is, but I'm looking into that, but I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what to do. But okay, all right. Well, you can't help there. Let's move on to the next thing.
If it's like, I think I could be wrong on this, but I think if it's like if it's an alopecia-related thing, they'll put like a little zoom scope on it or whatever. And they'll be able to tell if there's like inflammation down there, which is some kind of like autoimmune bullshit, and then they'll know for sure. But otherwise, I can't look. I'm just looking. I don't know. There's probably a million things that can cause random things of hair to fall out that I would know nothing about. But if it starts falling out in more places, then you'll know for sure. Oh, that's it. So there you go.
Did you take it? Did you take any minoxidil?
No, I tried the stuff that you can smear on it for a little bit, but I got bored of that, and I just figured if it grows back, it does. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. So, but you can do topical. And there might be other treatments that you can do as well. Just depends on how much you. Yeah. Oh, you can get like steroid shots too if you wanted to do that, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to see if I need to get steroid shots. Someone told me side effects might be crazy on that.
No, they aren't. That's whoever said that is fucking retarded.
Okay, it's actually this one guy that really likes Nico, so I didn't really take it too seriously. But anyway, okay. The other thing as well is I'm gonna go to the thing on Houston. So you don't. I don't have to buy a ticket for that, right? Like I could just show up like as a special guest, like.
Yeah, and hang out outside. Yeah.
Well, no, like inside, like I don't need to like buy the ticket to go inside, right? Like you can like hook me
Why
up,
would
like,
Why would I do that?
I'm like pressed these days. Come on.
Other people would want free tickets then, right?
We can look into it. I mean, like, I'm kind of like I'm like a one man show, but I mean, like, I do have a camera crew
Mm-hmm.
and like stuff. So that'd be good if we got like a group with some tickets.
You should try to like you guys could sneak in. I bet maybe.
I mean, we could try to sneak in at the first, but like, do you like you maybe if I say like, oh, I'm with you'd probably say like, yeah.
No, but you could lie and say that. Maybe they'll let you in.
Okay, do you have like can I use a picture of me and you together as proof of that?
It's up to you, dude. It's all about your choice.
I just it is up to me, but I need like your consent.
Well, no, the whole point of sneaking in is to do it without my consent, right? Isn't that the kind of the point?
Well, yeah, I'm sneaking in, but I'm using your name to sneak in, and I just need to know that when it happens, I don't listen. I have a lot of legal stuff going on right now, and if I start saying things that could get me legally in trouble, it might be a whole thing.
Okay, but if I allow you to do this, then at that point I might as well just allow you to get free tickets, no? Why don't you do a fundraiser on your stream for him?
Well, why don't you just do that? It's not that. It's like they're like $5, I think, right? Well,
No, it's like $30.
it's how much?
Like $30 for a ticket.
It's $30 a ticket.
Oh my
for you
God.
to just talk. Is it just you to talk?
It's even more to debate. It's like $40 to debate.
It's $40 a debate.
Something like that. It's
40.
more to debate. I know the debate tickets are more expensive.
Yeah, but you're not debating me, so that doesn't matter, right?
I might. I have a lot of opinions lately that have
Oh, yeah?
changed on a lot of things. Yes.
Okay.
So I might just fucking cook
He's a
your ass
Trumper.
publicly. And I actually do have a guy that wants to debate you. But he's a big Trumper, big Sneeko fan, big
Hates Kamala.
big hates Kamala guy.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so we'll look into that. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Well, thank you for, looking out for me for those tickets, man.
Yeah,
I'll
for sure,
definitely
dude.
try that out and see how it goes.
Good luck. Have fun. Be careful.
Thank you. Bye.
By far biggest red flag was I asked them to sign a non-compete based on gut feeling and hunches I may have had from rumors that have made their rounds. I asked them to sign a non-compete between them and Mythic. Let me explain what this means. A non-compete means that if Mythic gives me sponsors. So what Mythic is, so Mythic Talents, I'm part of Mythic Talents, which is the same as UTA and other places. They give you sponsors. Vishoujo's talents have also been part of mostly UTA. Long story short, what they do is they read my inbox, they pass on the sponsors, they negotiate sponsors for me. They give me sponsors. I ask Vishoujo to sign, to add or sign a non-compete clause in the contract. What are sponsors? It's when a game pays you to play the game. So I was like, sign a non-compete, because if Mythic gives me a sponsor, let's just keep math really simple, right? If Mythic gives me a sponsor and says they'll pay you $100 if you play this game for
The Mythic sponsor is probably going to be a lot more favorable in terms of the split and everything than what Vishoujo would have.
an hour, I don't want Vishoujo to be legally able to go behind my back and contact the sponsor and say, she'll do it for 80, just so Vishoujo will then
Get a higher
give the
cut.
sponsor to me and
Yeah.
they will be able to take the cut. I want them to non-compete so they can't do that. So Vishoujo can't go to the sponsor and be like, no, she'll do it for this much, just so they can give me the sponsor and they get their cut. I don't want that. Mythic got me the sponsor first. I want you to non-compete that you can't fuck over me and or Mythic. I want a non-compete. Very standard thing. Very standard thing. They didn't want to sign that. They said, when I brought this up, I have proof of everything, by the way, and before anyone tries to pull some weird sneaky shit or Vishoujo tries some weird sneaky shit, I have proof of everything. I have proof of everything, okay? Everything. The whole 2 hours of the first one and whatever of the next following meetings. I prove everything. Anyways, I got all the receipts. Hours of receipts. Anyways, they then tried to argue when I asked about
I don't understand so my assumption would have been that, like, not to be mean, but that Vishoujo and all that just exists for basically retards who don't know how to manage any of their own shit or don't know how to do any business stuff or whatever. But this person sounds like they know way more about average business stuff than the average retarded fucking YouTuber or streamer. So what was she joining Vishoujo for? I just don't understand what they're even offering her.
non-compete. They were like, hey, we operate on a trust basis. And I was like, don't give a shit. Don't care. It's a contract. There is no trust in a contract.
Yeah.
There is no
Yeah,
trust
what the
basis.
fuck?
I know people like, there is no trust. There is no we don't operate on jack shit except for the black on fucking white on this fucking contract. Trust basis.
True.
The second red flag was in this beautiful first interview where the very beautiful person in the very beginning, they presented everything of what Vishoujo can and will do for me. I asked straight up, because the contract had none of that in there. Not one thing, except for the parts I want money off, not one of those things was part of it. The only thing part of it was the money they offered me a year and something else. I forgot about what it was, but there were two things. But there was just, again, money, transactional money.
Oh, they were paying flat fees per year as well to talent? Okay. So some of that might be included in the cost of goods sold as well. Maybe.
Things that they had to put in there. So not one thing that they offer me as a service was in there. So I simply asked, put them in a contract. Everything you offer, put it in a contract. Needlessly to say, that part never happened. And that is literally making a deal with the fucking devil, because if all of these things are things you promise, there is absolutely no reason to not have them in a contract. These are things you promise. You swore, that's your whole selling point. But when I ask you to put it on paper in the contract that you want me to sign, you refuse. No. No. The only thing, apart from all the negative, the only thing that was positive in this whole thing was when I asked Vishojo if I can reach out to the other talents, because they're trying to hire me. They're trying to make me sign with the company. I said I want to reach out to the other girls and make sure they want me there. First of all, I want to make sure they're aware I'm being recruited.
Are verbal contracts a thing in the US? Yeah. They're found, I think, right after pinky promises and right before I swear.
Younger age, because I didn't have the courage to do it.
Well, like you were kind of scared to put yourself out there in a way that's not like traditionally.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so I took a different route. And I went to law school and I became a professor and I opened up a law firm and and by the way, I think I did all of those things pretty successfully. But when it became the only thing that I could do to not sink into absolute and complete despair was to fall back on the thing that I love to do the most, was to paint. That's what I painted. And then somebody came by just by happenstance one day, who was at a gallery in New York, literally a friend of a friend. He said, "You should do a show." And I said, "I would love to do a show." And then I was scared to death when I did it. In the first show that I had in LA, I didn't offer anything for sale. I just did the show. It wasn't even for sale. And immediately it became this thing that, you know, like I realized that, you know, that also gave me a gift, which is this. I said, I don't give a shit. I paint every day.
Big Mac with Fried, 1999. Are we getting VTuber Destiny back? Ask your mom. Got him.
Okay. And I paint for the people that I love. I paint for myself. And one day I'll have another show. But I really don't give a shit what the fucking New York Post or James Comer of Kentucky, the chairman of the Oversight Committee, thinks about my fucking painting.
True!
Or what anybody really thinks, for that matter. I guess the whole point of even talking about it is that it wasn't just the fact that they, of the investigations, congressional, the DOJ, all of it. It wasn't just the constant from like the Murdoch, media empire and all of the ancillary organizations around it. In the New York Times, you know.
Wait, did Comer actually say a thing about these? Oh my God. Oh no.
I reserve, yes.
Gentleman from Kentucky is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, every time the chairman Schiff rises to speak on a bill about intelligence and security and holding the president accountable, I get excited hoping that we're going to hear about that evidence of collusion and all the other investigations that were conducted in this House over the past year. I'll yield back, absolutely.
Gentleman yield? Will the gentleman yield?
Yes, yield.
Well, let me ask the gentleman, are you aware, just by way of illustration, that the president's campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, secretly...
I don't know why I talk about Roger Stone. I should just be talking about Manafort. Unbelievable. What an unbelievable connection. What an unbelievable connection. That Paul Manafort, who was, I believe, the chair of Trump's campaign, I think he just said it, was secretly working with Russia to undermine a Ukrainian candidate for president, or a Ukrainian, I think, current president, was doing this and was lying to the United States the entire time of the millions of dollars he was receiving a payment for this, was like the fucking chair of Trump's entire election staff. Again, imagine anything even remotely close to the Democrats having this connection.
By way of illustration, that the president's campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, secretly met with an agent of Russian intelligence and provided Russian intelligence with...
Also, stop. Careful. Now, you just heard him say secretly met. Now, I know that in your mind, because you're so used to listening to the MAGA brain rot, that you're thinking like, oh, secretly. Okay. So they think this happened. No. When he says secretly, he means what came out after indictment, after investigation, indictment, and conviction is what we know. It was a secret. Not a secret like when Republicans are just making shit up magically. But like a secret is in, this is what he was trying to hide. It's what investigators found. It's what they got a grand jury to indict on. And it's what they secured convictions on. Okay, just to be clear on that.
Internal agent of Russian intelligence and provided Russian intelligence with internal campaign polling data, as well as strategic insights about their strategy in key battleground states. Are you aware of that?
I think everyone's aware of every bit of information that you all have tried to peddle over the past 4 years.
Let me ask you, are you aware that while the Trump...
Was he convicted at this point? December 9th, 2021. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ask, was he convicted at this point? What I should have been asking is, had he been pardoned by Donald Trump yet at this point? My bad. Okay. Pardoned in December 2020 for his federal crimes. Good job.
Trump campaign chairman was providing internal polling data that Kremlin intelligence was leading a clandestine social media campaign to elect Donald Trump. Are you aware of that?
I think we see every day. Facebook just announced that Russia was trying to do a Facebook campaign in Ukraine, if I remember reading that correctly. Mr. Schiff,
would you like me to go on?
To a question
would you like me to go on?
What would you yield to a question?
Well, I'm asking you, would you like me to, you asked me to present you with some of the information?
No, I think it's great. Are you aware of President
like
Biden's son Hunter's art dealings? Are you aware of the president's son's dealings with in Congo with the cobalt mine? Are you aware of the dealings in Ukraine?
To get to the gentleman's question, I am aware of President Trump's son meeting secretly in Trump Tower in New York with a Russian delegation with the purpose of receiving dirt on Hillary Clinton, which the Russian delegation represented was part of the Russian government's effort to help elect Donald Trump in 2016. And I'm aware that Donald Trump Jr., said in response to that Russian offer of dirt on Donald Trump's opponent that he would love it, suggested the best timing would be in late summer, and had a secret meeting in Trump Tower. And when asked about that secret meeting, both the president and his son lied about it. Are you aware about those facts?
I think that everyone's seen all the information, again, that you all have peddled. I'm curious if you would like to take a wager on which president's child, which president's son, at the end of the day, once we have the gavel, will be the most security risk to our nation.
So I'm happy to continue to outline the contacts between the Trump campaign and Russia, their solicitation of Russian help in the election, the former president's effort to coerce Ukraine into helping him cheat in the election. I would happy to go chapter and verse if you would like me to use your time that way. Right now, though, the subject of this amendment is to allow the General Accounting Office, the GAO, to help Congress oversee aspects of the intelligence community. But if you're more interested,
I reclaim my time.
The gentleman has reclaimed his time.
They've spent a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of tax dollars on trying to peddle a lot of wrongdoing in the previous administration. This bill is all about the previous administration. Every speaker on their side of the aisle has mentioned Donald Trump's name numerous times. Every speaker. It's time for the majority party to focus on governing and get over their obsession with Donald Trump.
Govern they did. This was in December 9th, 2021. What a time. What a time to be alive. Oh. Thoughts, reasonable bill or fucked? Hiding all blue check marks. I was in the hospital for 3 days due to jaundice and had 3 ultrasounds done that didn't even help with my diagnosis. Why is he saying an ultrasound didn't help with the diagnosis? Because it didn't show what, like, I'm sorry. And that's pretty much it. There's another $300 bill I have to pay that's for the medication I received. I don't know how anti-Semites found this post, but no, I do not hate Jews. And yes, I dislike the Israeli government and what they're doing in Palestine. What does that have to do with anything? Your genetic disposition doesn't give you the right to leech off taxpayers. What? What am I even supposed to feel about this? Okay.
First,
this is going to be retarded. And I'm here for it.
First, distract target. Then block his blind jab. Counter with cross to left cheek. Discombobulate. Dazed, he'll attempt wild haymaker. Employ elbow block. And body shot. Block feral left. Weaken right jaw. Now fracture. Break cracked ribs. Traumatize solar plexus. Dislocate jaw entirely. Heel kick to diaphragm. In summary, 1 trillion in waste eliminated. Optimus rollout. Productivity boost. Federal debt curve reversed.
Let's get this party started.
Okay, this is retarded. Oh. Okay, listen, all of you guys. I need my brain. Listen. We need to recover. I'm gonna go find some positivity. I'm gonna go find some puppies and flowers. Oh, I love you all so much. Okay. Oh, we'll do our dailies. Yeah, I just need to listen to. I think I need to take a politics break for 5 days and just do fucking reading or some bullshit. Because holy fuck, everything is so stupid. Luke's Trek, Bottle, War, Star Stuff, Anise, Sarah, Kelly, Sage, March, Hunter, Mace, Hike, P, Dill, Trent. Nope. Okay. A Trek, nice bait. A Trek, a March, a Hike. A Dill, a Tramp. Can you take a Tramp? I've never heard that. Oh, like Trample maybe? Are these like fucking scents of like candles? Not even clock, I don't know. I have no idea what any of these are. Nope. Dill, pickles, pea pods. Are these like women's names? That's not it. I have no idea. I don't know. Kill me. Get me out of here. What is it? Herbs and spices. Okay, I have no clue. Shades of green. Kelly P. Hunter Green. Bottle green. I don't think I've heard of a single one of these before. Okay, I guess I'm green retarded. Okay. Starts of European capitals. Oh, I actually thought this because of... Oh, I don't know why I thought of Copenhagen. It was because of one of these other words. I don't even know why. Luxembourg, Copenhagen, Warsaw, and Sarajevo. Oh my God. Capital of Bosnia and Herzegovina. That's not even a real place.